It's us versus them today.
Okay.
Don't embarrass me in front of my friends.
Close it!
You know it's good when the brand name is
Trunnion.
I'm sorry, that's f***ed up. I shouldn't make fun of that. Here's the
Yes,
thing.
that's the worst thing that's been said on this podcast.
I don't know how much of that you can say, but
Well,
that's
the
up to you.
investigation's over.
Oh, so we're good?
Buckle up, Buttercup.
Say hi to Eli. He's racially ambiguous, and Brandon, his hair is fucking fabulous. And Donut, a dark joke disposition, and there's a fat electrician. Welcome to Unsubscribe.
Ready for this? Mm-hmm. Okay. You gotta say, hey.
Hey,
Do you know what month it is?
it is April 17th.
We're doing Autism Awareness Month.
Uh-huh.
Because we're helping people with...
Autism.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Autism. You put a big smile on your face? Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's not a smile. There's a real smile, you little goober. Hey, first off, thank you so much for the freaking insane response already. We just broke $50,000 in money made so far. You all always show up and step up to the plate and really make a difference. We cannot ask for a better community. The best community ever. Is it? Mm-hmm. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Do you love them? Mm-hmm. How much?
That much.
You love them that much? Oh. That's crazy. I love you, big boy. Give me a kiss. Thank you. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, Eli, what that shirt though? What is that shirt? Weaponized autism. Caution. Autism. Intense special interests. ASD. No eye contact. Ooh. This is my favorite freaking shirt we have ever done. And part of it is because of all of you. We read the comments. We read the responses. And you guys asked for even better design for this month. You know what? Y'all deserve that. Easy. And you deserve this next thing. All the old autism shirts are going to be up for sale for the remaining of the month. And 100% of all these profits are going towards those amazing causes. So, thank you. Thank you. Now, how do we make this even better? And how do we raise even more money? I had an idea. Sorry, bud. Introducing the TISMs. That's right, they are called the TISMs. We wanted to launch a pair of shoes that represent being different, but also being awesome at the same time. And I think I'm so proud of these. And on top of that, any money spent will enter you to win some amazing stuff. These shoes, yup. That safe over there worth a couple $1,000s, yup. Eli, what about the Full Metal Spectrum shirt? Even better, we have a one-of-one helmet that we'll be giving away too. Look at this. Bored. Dude, thank you so much, Tommy and Hard-Headed Veterans, for making this. Also, Maximus Knives, creating a one-of-one blade. It looks amazing and it is hand-forged. And down in the link below, you'll be able to bid on these bad boys. Fat Electrician's one-of-one I Love Communism shoes. Shame he never wore them. But we know we could probably raise a good chunk of change for these. And then 100% of whatever we raise will be going towards that final number at the end of the month. It's a whole bunch of stuff to buy and a whole lot of chances to win. You looking at signs? Mm-hmm. Show the camera. Guys, gals, I hope you enjoy this episode. And more importantly, thank you from the bottom of our hearts for making stuff like this possible. For me, for the guys, for Ryden, and for all the individuals out there that will truly benefit from something like this. Keep doing amazing things. We are so thankful on this side. Each and every day. You change this little man's life. Y'all did that and you changed my life. So thank you always. And this is how I pay it forward, and I'm going to continue to pay it forward until I take my last breath. I'm blessed. We're blessed. And now because of you, we can bless others. I hope you all know how much you mean to us. Thank you from the bottom of all our hearts. Love y'all. Community. Right. You want to say something to the camera?
I like making signs.
What kind of signs?
Prohibited signs. Thank you for the happy birthday.
And to the parents out there, this might be something you can do. Ryan and me still do it to this day. Ready, Red? Let's do the 10. Talk in here.
I'm smart. I'm handsome. I'm funny. I make people laugh. I make people smile. I always help others. I will never give up. Always so smile. More into than me, and more into so proud of me.
Hey, smile butt. Hey, big smile butt.
Stop. Bye.
Love you guys.
All right,
Let's get some shoes.
Shit, let's light this candle.
Well, we're waiting on that guy with the face over there and the beard, not the brown one, the slightly whiter one.
Which guy?
Green Eyes beard.
Oh, the racist.
Not brown eyes beard.
Green Eyes Bearded Dragon of the KKK.
We're like 30 seconds in.
It's the Green Eyes Bearded Dragon. Green Eyes Grand Dragon.
Oh my God.
Green Eyes Bearded Dragon has told out all the dark.
Why am I on all the racist episodes?
It's time to duel.
You're not a host.
I know, but I'm on all the racist episodes.
You're not a host.
Oh, that's fair.
Because I'm fucking here, dude.
Jeez.
That's how we're going to start it. And now we just go 3.
Oh,
Scrotum.
I don't know why I just kept looking around the table like it was going to materialize.
3, 2, 1.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Unsubscribed Podcast. I'm joined today by Eli Doubletap, Fat Electrician, Angry Cops, Habitual Line Crosser, Brandon Herrera, myself, Donut Operator. You are getting into a star-studded podcast today. What's going to happen? We don't know.
It's unsub versus Kinda Consensual, literally.
We are. Yeah.
The battle.
We're also here, kind of consensually.
We forced this to happen.
Well, I will say we can't do all the stories that are out there because all Brandon's are still classified.
Fuck off.
Rich, are you going to say something?
Oh, yeah. Hey,
How much have you spit onto this microphone? My God, it is visibly wet.
No, that's from the thing. Sorry. That's-
Can you fit your mouth around it?
You just do the Gluck Gluck 9000.
I don't know.
It's a rite of passage around here.
Yes, I remember. I was on like right after you did it.
Dude, I love watching
There we go.
hey,
Hey, how you doing?
hold on to my hand real
Okay,
quick.
okay.
We're having a conversation.
Okay.
It's us versus them today.
Okay.
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 Don't embarrass me in front of my friends.
You're embarrassing me in front of the wizard.
Then I guess that's it, folks. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. I'm going to just...
You're starting it.
all right, I'm going to shut up.
There we go.
You can tell Richard cares. He's dressing for success. He looks just like me, drinking a Busch Light and everything.
I'm just saying you can be replaced. So, just letting you know, Eli, if you've ever need, somebody to fill in that can be, as equally ignorant and hairy, then I'm your guy.
I need to hear your best. Today we're going to talk about
a whole bunch of people doing some stuff at a time that I wasn't a part of, and I'm going to get upset about it. Delete me.
This was accurate.
Where's my hot wife so I can put guns in and not have to pay for them?
At least it's entertaining.
Check out the woman that I bang.
Ta-da.
Eli, what are we talking about
I
today?
have so much to Okay, well, we have, we'll just start this one off with the charities. We'll go into that, but before we do that, you remember this fucking thing?
Oh, no.
No, I opened it. Dear God, that was the worst thing I've ever done in my
fuck
Is
is
life.
that
that?
what we're doing?
I smelling salts? The world's strongest one?
Let's
Oh,
not
the
do
things
that.
that
No,
Connor was
dude.
freebasing.
So this sealed was like,
It'll short circuit your brain for a second.
so I opened it and was like, I wonder. I reset. I just started hopping around. I hit my back of my head a couple times. I ran to the bathroom like,
Really?
right before. Yeah, I was like, go. Dude, that's
Is it just ammonia?
Yeah.
Like it's just ammonia, isn't it?
You know it's good when the brand name is
I was like,
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
I think I got a
Just
whiff
got it.
as it went by.
Oh,
man.
I'm like my heart's going.
Oh my God.
Rich?
Why is my heart going?
That's
Oh, God,
that's
it's still here.
dude. That's sealed.
It's in my White Claw.
Oh,
I didn't
it
want that
does burn
smoke.
the nostrils.
That smells like embalming fluid, man. Oh my God.
And for the camera, that is sealed. That is in a sealed case. So I accidentally opened that before this. Dude, Connor loves this stuff.
want it.
Yeah, you didn't. It's like
Dude, this when you
King Trout was freebasing that shit. The
dude
other
do
day.
not like just like
Just come on camera first before you do.
but like just don't go like
not
just
gonna
the
huff it, yeah.
just the tiniest.
Oh, that's nothing. You're fucking babies.
Bro,
Sorry, I called y'all babies.
dude, like it is a full fucking reset.
I'm gonna go for a walk.
Dude, he did what I did. You don't smell it. You're like, oh, that's not that.
You can see how much my eyes are watering, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Oh fuck.
I just saw Connor get force reset.
dude.
Oh, back
He held down the power button for 5 seconds. You're like,
I watched him do the PlayStation 2
Why am
like
I still getting whiffs of
with the
it?
cubes.
bro, that was the worst experience I've had in a long time. I was like, man, I want to nap so bad. I'll just do like what is and wide awake. I was
I
ready
don't
for
want to
this
nap
podcast.
anymore.
No.
All right, I want more of it.
Huh?
I'm still getting whiffs of it. Did it
Yeah.
like drip somewhere
Yeah.
or?
No, I'm getting it too.
Okay.
Oh, it's really bad right here.
Oh God, that's why
Are you
the,
gonna open the thingy too?
Oh,
big boys with
I'm
muscles
holding
do
that.
those,
Oh.
right?
Open it and then give it a little.
All right, guys, welcome to Unsub.
Dude, that Joe Rogan talks about that. The awe. No, you have to open it, Brandon.
No, I was just like I'm smelling it from here. Like it's wild. It
Just smells like cat pee.
You take it.
Oh God, I'm getting your residuals.
Yeah. Oh.
that shit has some recoil.
All right, you boys want to do a podcast now? Let's fucking hell.
Oh my God.
Starting defense. Seat at the table.
Rich, how's the Merv doing, man?
I've got 3 of them now.
You got what? You had 2.
They're multiplying?
I have 3.
Because when
Why?
we did the podcast up there in Buffalo, you still doing it?
Yeah, sorry. I'm not all right.
We came up there for Buffalo, and you brought the Merv out for us. It was fucking amazing. You have 3 now.
I have 3.
Oh, dude.
So I've got the Merv 19, which is the one that you guys were on.
What is the Merv?
So the Merv is the morale response vehicle for everybody that doesn't know. It's a fire truck that I was able to take and over the course of like a couple of years during COVID turn into like a massive tailgating mobile. And I take veterans and first responders out to Bills games and go to their birthday party or stag in Western New York. And we get them hammered, all the booze, I put the booze on it. And it's sponsored by you. You have the Donut Operator gaming station where I have an N64 with some classic games on it.
Ooh. Throwback.
Goldeneye.
So you have the Merv 19, that's the OG one. I have the Merv 13, which my buddy uses primarily for the KIA Memorial Ruck March in Western New York every August. It's a veteran non-for-profit. And then we just got the new one, and it's a massive rescue. And like it's like 10 feet wide. And when you open up the storage containers or the storage doors, you can look through to the other side. Like you could just slide 30 racks of Busch Light from one side to the other. And it's got this large pull-out like metal like hook wall, like you hang tools on the wall in like old workshops and stuff like that. You can pull it out, and our plan is to put TVs on either side of it. So
Did you just get that?
we got that we got it like early autumn of 2024. So that's got to get a sound system put into it. It's got an 18-foot spotlight on top of it, so you can light up the area. It's got the indoor seating area has a desk and 5 outlets. And it's got like a skylight. It's It's a little intense.
Basically, if you guys don't know what Rich is putting down, he takes old fire trucks and turns them into the coolest fucking bars ever.
I'm a bad bitch.
And then you pick us up in it.
Oh, you
that
did
was
pick us
very
up
fun.
in it.
And play Miley Cyrus.
Party in the USA.
I like how all the other live shows, it's like, drop us off in the back, and then we go to Buffalo. It's like, pull up with the sirens on. In the Merv.
It's my town. It's my people.
Own that shit. Oh, Autism Month. This will be, what, this week? Next week?
Speaking of fire trucks, Autism Month.
Yeah. I mean, that's as autistic
Yeah,
as it
dude,
gets.
trucks and trains.
Yeah. See?
Oh, and planes. Don't forget
planes.
those. Yeah.
Yeah, we got the huge month going on, so we're trying to crush 250,000, but we have a safe. We have the new autism shoes. We have the bidding for your one-of-one communism shoes. We have, I will say, like, women, like, moms love this shirt. Traveling, I've never been stopped by females for shirts. Oh my God, my son's autistic. I love that shirt. I love that shirt. Oh, that's a really dope shirt. I was like, oh, I like this. This is universal. It's not aggressive.
Do you like MILFs that are definitely going to be packing snacks? Wear that shirt. You'll get laid.
So go check that shit out. We're super stoked for that. And you've all crushing it so far.
This is my free juice
happy.
box shirt.
You know what I'm going to have as an after-sex snack? Your gushers.
And some of that string cheese.
New daddy ate my gushers. I do not like him.
I will set fire to his truck.
Daddy ate my gushers.
That's the real next autism shirt.
Daddy ate my gushers.
It's just a kid just like this with like an evil face. That could be a Halloween shirt too. It's the same face, but you put like the Freddy Krueger fingers on it.
Comfort.
Hey, Eli.
What's up, Brandon?
Just getting ready for today's ad.
Oh, you mean the perfect gene, Brandon?
I do mean the perfect gene.
You want to touch my jeans, Brandon?
Jeez, fuck. Thank you for that. Picture this: 700,000.
Hold on, I'm picturing it. Okay, go.
Oh, this is gonna be a long ad, huh? Picture this: 700,000 pairs of nuts rescued from bad genes.
It's 2 per dude.
The hero, the perfect gene. Say goodbye to stiff cardboard denim and say hello to comfort.
These jeans feel like they were custom made, specifically tailored to you. They stretch.
And they're durable enough to survive her pulling them down daily.
With 6 fits from skinny to thick. Waist sizes from 26 to 50 and lengths from 26 to 38. I'll never be that. So it doesn't matter if you're a short king, a thick daddy, or anything in between. You can find the perfect fit for the body you're rocking. Let me touch you.
And for a limited time, our listeners get 15% off and free shipping if they go to theperfectgene.nyc. Or just Google The Perfect Gene and use code UNSUB15 for 15% off.
It's time to stop crushing your balls and uncomfortable jeans by heading over to theperfectgene.nyc.
Fuck your khakis.
Free returns and free exchanges when you use code UNSUB15 at checkout. And one more time, our listeners get 15% off your first order plus free shipping.
Once again, that's code UNSUB15 at checkout. After your purchase, they're going to ask you who sent you. This is not like a Fight Club thing where you don't talk about it. Please, by all means, tell them that we sent you their way. And remember, fuck your khakis. Get the perfect gene.
Dude, have we talked about how much your son loved New York?
Oh, no. I don't know if we talked about riding.
You took riding out, and like he loved New York. He loved seeing all the sights and stuff.
Origami.
We had one day to knock out all of New York's buildings because Ryden had a schedule to keep, and there was like 7 places plus
he
the
had his
Statue of
schedule
Liberty.
to keep, right?
Yeah.
How bad does he want to go to Dubai?
Paris is his. Like,
Really?
Yeah, he wants really Paris and England because he's like, and then I can see the Louvre and this and this and this and this. I'm like, okay, cool. So New York was land, go, walk and walk. And I was like, he's going to want to go home soon. Yeah, homeboy. Other than when we went to the Statue of Liberty, he got really good, like a really fucking good photo. Happy. Also cold, so he was miserable. He came back. I was like, ready to ride the double ducker bus back, buddy? Which he usually loves. He's like, no, I want to take a taxi. I am sleepy. I was like, are you sure? In the double decker bus? You love those? He's like, no, I am good, Daddy. I was like, okay. We hopped in, got home, passed out. He had the time of his life. And yeah, now he's like, okay, that was great. Now I want to go to, I think, DC.
Oh.
No.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yep. And then you get to find out they charge $100 per person right at the top of like the Empire State Building or anything.
Wow.
That's $100 to go to the top of the Empire State Building? Mm-hmm. Probably part of the congestion tax. Thanks, Kathy Hochul.
This shit's expensive.
Idiot.
Expensive.
Paying $100 to go to the top. You'd have to be retarded.
I don't even think it costs that much to go to the top of the Burj
He's wearing a
Khalifa.
shirt.
Golden Dome.
Golden Dome. What about it?
I wrote a note. Not that, dude. I thought the same thing. I wrote it down because you talked about info on the Golden Dome. I was like, I don't know what the fuck that is. I thought you were talking about your head.
Yeah, some really good head.
So depends. Do you want me to go like missiletism light or missiletism heavy? Okay, all right. So the Golden Dome has been proposed by President Trump. He put it into action, and what it is it's a nationwide intercontinental ballistic missile defense for the United States. Now, the United States right now has a program of record that is currently in use. It's called GMD, Ground-Based Mid-Course Defense. They use these things called GBIs, Ground-Based Interceptors. By the way, fun fact, they travel at Mach 33. Yeah, that's for you guys. Yeah, that's the missiletism. So
those are fucking.
Yeah, they're cooking. They're moving. Downside is they're $77 million a piece, and we only have 44 of them. So right now we have a whole bunch of different sensors. Like when it comes to the world of radars, America makes better radars than everybody else in the fucking world. Like we have Cobra Dane radar, which is, I didn't even know where it was. It's on the Aleutian Islands in Alaska, and it's a low frequency radar, and it's been around since like the 1970s. And we use that one. We use this thing called SBX, which is the sea-based X-band radar. We have one of them, and it watches the Pacific, the whole thing, at the same time. Like America does
all of it,
like the whole fucking thing.
All of it.
Just before we have to make some phone calls, this is all declassified.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
I verified all this. And then that also
which means we have cooler shit.
Yeah, much cooler. So then we have Aegis, the Aegis combat system with the the Spy 1 and Spy 6 and Spy 7 from the United States Navy on board their Arleigh Burke class destroyers and their Ticonderoga class cruisers. And then we also have these things called LRDRs, Long Range Discrimination Radar.
Oh, that's like us.
Cody and Rich.
Yeah, Cody, you and I do long range discrimination.
That's only in like underprivileged neighborhoods. Though.
Now,
yeah.
you
They
guys
also see everything.
You were beat cops. That's short range.
He's still got it because we were driving through Texas the other day and he was just like minority, and then he locked the doors, and I was like, yeah, he's got it.
Dude,
What color are the silhouettes that you guys shoot at in training?
The color they
African
should be.
American, black. Shit, what do we call them?
I'm gonna get a water. Anybody need anything?
No, like just to stop eating. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You're good.
You're on your TISM right now. I have never seen anyone bully people so well on Twitter. I thought I was good at bullying people on Twitter, but when people start talking about missiles and attacking the United States or attacking other countries, you're like, no.
It is honestly, I learned from you. So I will say that I got Twitter when Brandon was running for office because you guys were in a knockdown drag-out battle with his opponent. And I was like, I just want to watch. And then I watched you, of all people. I started seeing what Cody was saying on Twitter, and I was like, I could do that. I could do that.
And now me and you are tag teaming Iran.
It's my favorite pastime. Like, honestly, more than any social media I open on my phone, Twitter is number one. I'm just like, all right, let's see whose day I can ruin. Let's just scroll through this. It's my favorite pastime.
I love how they're parading around, like the Iranian military is like parading around cripples in formation. They're just like, we could fuck up the United States. I'm just like, dude, you guys are the people that like are the tutorial of the game we actually want to play.
I broke it down mathematically because I did a video, USA versus the World series, and it was versus Gaza. And what I ended up doing for most of the video was talking about the history of Gaza and Israel. And frankly, the more I read, the less I know who the fuck it belongs to. I have no idea why everyone wants to kill each other for that chunk of land. But, like...
Beautiful area.
Yeah, I guess. But... Gaza
it
is
could be.
I was like, let's just see if I can prove this mathematically. How fast did the U.S. take Iraq? Okay, we took it in X amount of days. It was like 33 days. How many square miles is Iraq? It was like 7,000 square miles. Okay, how big is Gaza? 141 square miles. I was like, okay, let's do some math. Break this down. 26 minutes, by the way. United States could take Gaza in 26 minutes. That was on my list of shit to look up.
I mean, saying
32
Israel,
minutes, the Whoppers will be ready.
To be fair, in actuality, it's taken Israel a few thousand years.
That's fair.
Don't make those people mad, Brandon. Come on.
I was gonna say,
Pointing out a faction. Yeah, I feel like those people is worse.
What are they gonna do? Donate millions of dollars against his political campaign?
God forbid.
like a pack of them.
A super pack of them? No. I don't know how much of that we can even keep. That was. I'm gonna get another water that I'm not gonna get.
Just put black bars over Brandon's eyes.
But
Redacted Brandon.
Yeah, it just pops up and it goes away.
Punished Brandon.
But jumping back to the Golden Dome, so is it? You know, a lot of people ask me like, is this realistic? Okay, first of all, you got to understand we're the United States of America. Anything we want to do is realistic. Like we do shit because we can. We have a knife missile. We have just like crazy amounts of shit that the United States has built, and it's just like, why not? Like that's kind of the U.S. mentality. So is it going to be expensive? Yes. However, the goal is to build a network of sensors that all talk to each other. Now, sensors that talk to each other and say, hey, I see this here is an easy thing. The world has that. But sensors that say, hey, I'm looking at this thing. I need you to fire your missile and guide it until it's within my radar fan.
It's like we were talking about last time with the relay race of like sensors and missiles.
Imagine like you're a sniper and you have spotters all along your path. And every time like you squeeze the trigger, your spotter, as it gets into their flight path, takes control of that round and guides it where it needs to go. It's the same principle. It's a really difficult concept. Is it possible? Yes, absolutely. But then we get into like what is considered, and this is the part of my job that I really hate. It's kind of like playing God. We do what's called a CVT assessment, criticality, vulnerability, and threat. Now, is Pawtucket's farm in fucking Pennsylvania, Iowa important? Yes, because we need sustenance for our forces. However, is it important as where we build bullets, bombs, ships, things like that? No, it's not as important in the short term. So we need to protect those assets more.
It's kind of like the Fight Club thing of like where they do the mathematics on, you know, is it more expensive to do a recall versus the lawsuits on the people they kill?
Exactly. So the same thing with us is we base,
glad somebody got it.
Yeah,
like you build a whole plan based off of what is the highest priority target. And it's the same thing that like Israel does with the Iron Dome and Arrow 3 is if your Iranian missile, which is hot dog shit and you know to begin with, is going to land in the middle of the desert, they're not even going to shoot at it. They're just going to laugh at you. Like when the USS, was it the Dwight D. Eisenhower? The Houthis fired at an American ship and they missed by 100 miles. I know those guys.
Really?
Yeah, they missed by 100 miles.
Dear God.
So I know
What was
like,
it? What did they fire? That was that bad. An AT-4?
Dog.
A dog?
They just put a dog in a catapult in the fucking center.
like it's so bad, man.
Yeah.
It's like, why didn't you just throw the explosives in the catapult? Funny.
We tried this thing very, very, very many times. But yeah, no. So is it possible? Yes, but we're gonna have to prioritize the highest assets first before we prioritize the lower assets. It's going to be an overwhelming amount of sensors that network together. You're going to need a large amount of manpower to man these sensors. And right now, we're currently replacing our GBIs, our ground-based interceptors, with the NGIs, next generation interceptors from Lockheed Martin, which are $111 million a piece. And rumor has it they also traveled at Mach 33. So there's my missile test.
How's the
Rumor
missiles
has it.
firing, like flying that fast? That is cooking. How fast is what's the fast jet Blackbird?
Mach
33.
Mach
It's like
10 or
Mach
Mach
3. Yeah.
Mach 3 is the SR-71, yeah.
And that is built loosely because the heat then expands, it holds
Yeah,
in
it
place.
expands the titanium.
we don't have hyposonic missiles.
Oh, I fucking hate that so much. Based off of the logic of hypersonics, which is anything that travels over Mach 5, I don't like using Mach because Mach is speed. Like audio or sound travels different at different altitudes. So pretty much anything that travels over 1 mile per second. We've had hypersonics since 1946 with the V2 missile program, which traveled at 1,700 meters a second at its fastest altitude.
Well, the people that we paper clipped away from the V2 anyway.
We just borrowed them. Like it's, hey, you can go to prison or you can build us some really cool rockets.
Mach 33 is, guess how many miles an hour?
32,000, something like that.
25,000 miles an hour.
Well, I mean, the SLAM missile was just designed to stay up in the atmosphere permanently, wasn't it?
Yeah, they so China actually has one like that. It's their DFZF. It's the DF-17, and it's the hypersonic glide vehicle. But they fire it up and it just loiters in orbit as long as they need it to, until they're ready to drop it down.
Kind of like what we were talking about with the video that you cameoed on my channel with the hot laps on the B-52
Chrome Dome.
Oh, Operation Chrome Dome. That's a great one.
Where it's just like they just had a fucking aircraft in the air ready to nuke at any given moment, and they were just doing hot laps.
Well, I don't know
around
about the Chinese one, but it was like the 1960s we came out with the SLAM missile.
Yeah, the SLAM, I think it was also, if I'm not mistaken, it's been a little while since I read about the SLAM. Wasn't that also the one that they had nuclear propulsion with?
Yes.
Small nuclear blast.
The SLAM missile was a nuclear propelled missile that would go super high up and literally just do hot laps around the planet in perpetuity forever until they said, oh, land here. And then it would just...
That's the sort of shit that makes me kind of okay with paying taxes.
Yeah.
It's like, that's pretty cool.
So here's the thing. When you talk about hypersonics, you run into what's called the rocket problem. And this is my TISM coming off, right? So the rocket problem is based off of physics. How fast can you make that object going with the thrust that it is producing? But you also have to factor in wind resistance, heat, drag, everything. Yeah, so fuel. So like ballistic missiles nowadays, they travel at like Mach 9 or something like that, but that's when they're at apogee. The phases of flight of a ballistic missile are launch, boost, apogee, separation, and terminal. Most systems engage in the terminal phase, like THAAD, terminal high altitude air defense, and then Patriot is in the terminal phase. The only exception to this is GMD, which is in the mid-course. So that is usually right around apogee. That's why it has to move at Mach 33, because it has to meet that target when it's moving that fucking fast. Like, dude, missiles are so cool. Like, for example, THAAD, right? Terminal High Altitude Air Defense, which, by the way, on paper is the most effective air defense system in existence. It has had 4 shots and 4 kills in American history. That is the only time THAAD has ever fired, and it has killed everything it's ever fired at.
What was it fired at?
Dogs.
It was...
More dogs?
Yeah.
Goddamn, Iran.
Iran.
By the way, slam missile, nickname for my penis. Thank you. It's also a loitering munition waiting to be called upon.
Oh, there we go.
As it turns out, the THAAD was used exclusively by the ATF.
So THAAD has been fired at Houthi missiles and Iranian missiles. But THAAD is really cool, and I'm saying this just because, again, I'm not THAAD qualified, but this is, I was talking to one of my students, and they were kind of explaining this to me, unclassed. All of my classes unclassed.
I love it. You're explaining. You're like, I'm not qualified on it. I'm like, homie, none of us knew this existed.
Yeah, that's fair. But THAAD is the epitome of, but first let me take a selfie, right? So this is the way it works. It's a 2-stage missile. Takes off like a bat out of fucking hell, right? Like moving way, makes Patriot look like a slow goat, if that makes sense to everybody. Flies past it, separates, then the warhead takes a picture of the object it's supposed to intercept. It then sends that picture back to the radar, which then does an infrared or digital overlay and says, "Yep, that's the target." And
it sends it directly to ChatGPT. They do a Studio Ghibli photo of the target, and then it intercepts.
Do they then make it one of those action figures?
Oh, exactly. God. That action figure tells me I need to go to the gym. But
what does Miss Number 5 look like?
Yeah, right. But it overlays the picture, and then boom, it just smokes it, sends it right for it, sends the warhead right for it, which is I think is one of the coolest interceptors that we have. Like, we have a lot of interceptors out there. That's one of the coolest.
Also terrifying we have that tech, and we just don't use it that much.
With you explaining what the gold dome is supposed to be, I'm just kind of surprised that we don't have something like that already.
So right now,
at least that we know about.
So GMD is again the program of record. It's a limited system. Now, when people so we have 40 missiles in California and 4 of them in Alaska. And that sounds like a lot of missiles until you realize they send between 2 to 5 interceptors at every single target to get that high probability of kill. So you run through that really quick, fast, and in a hurry. We need a lot of interceptors, but you also need qualified people who are able to fire those interceptors, which is the problem we run into. Like air defense right now, our retention rate, like maintaining people in the air defense branch, is really difficult because we just run them ragged. Because every COCOM commander out there thinks air defense is an infinite resource. Well, we'll just put Patriot there. We'll just put THAAD there. And these guys are like, 12 months out, 9 or 12 months back, and then 12 months out, like they're constantly fucking deploying. We never slowed down. When GWAT ended, air defense never slowed down. We're run ragged right now. But there is a big push to expand our branch exponentially. Like it's really good because the powers that be, I don't know if it's the Pentagon, I don't know where it is, but they're like, we need air defenders, and they have been pushing people through. Now we don't have enough instructors. We have people at the AIT, Advanced Individual Training Schoolhouse, and they're having to wait there for 9 to 12 months before they can even enter class because classes
now
are
you're
completely
making me
full.
feel bad about getting you to quit.
I know. I'm like, this is a perfect time for you to just do the Jake Gyllenhaal.
I'm out.
And bounce out.
But it's such a cool like program. Like we can absolutely do it. So I worked. Okay, I got to be very careful here and thread some line. I worked on a program called IBCS, which is the Integrated Air Missile Defense Battle Command System.
I think that's what Eli has.
Yeah. I can't have milk.
Yeah, no cheese, no milk, no dairy. Yeah. And that system is any shooter, any sensor. So like it passes interceptors in real time. So it was probably the highlight of my career. Been all downhill since there. 2019, and this is all in class. You can look it up. IBCS Flight Test 5. You can see it on YouTube. It's all there. I engaged 2 missiles that were flying a cruise missile profile, low and fast. They were maneuvering. Well, I couldn't see them with my sensor, but I had other sensors networked in with me. So I fired circumstantially at nothing. And in the middle of the engagement, F-35s grabbed my birds and sent them into the targets, which is terrifying. You can use surface-to-air missiles with F-35 air picture.
Oh, so the pilots drove them to where they needed to
Pretty
be.
much,
That's
yeah.
fucking cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they're doing with the new F-15 EX.
Oh, yeah, the EX, yeah.
That's the whole strategy, is they just took the F-15s and made them be able to carry way more ammo, like way more missiles. They're basically a fucking missile truck. And the F-35, so it's like an F-35 and 4 F-15s. And the F-35 is like the mothership, 10,000 feet above the F-15s using its sensor, and it's just sending the targeting data directly to the F-15s.
So you turn them
to
into
Merc stuff.
a $200 million Wi-Fi router.
That's pretty much
Literally, like it's like a mothership in an alien movie.
F-35
essentially.
is like a computer with wings. It is the smartest thing that has ever flown, and its sensor is like its radar is beast. And it was cool as shit. Like after I did the shot, which was, I'm so glad we hit our targets. I was worried, but I'm so glad it was a preliminary test. And then afterwards, the pilots were like radioed down to us. They're like, "You guys want to see us do some maneuvers?" Look, if I ever say no to that, just go ahead and chop my dick off, man. Like, do I want to see F-35s do backflips and barrel rolls over top of me? Absolutely, I do.
But you had good effect on target. The wedding never saw it coming.
Yeah, that wedding party in a rectangle out there in the desert somewhere.
Hey, Brandon, you ever wake up in your bed feeling like you just fought in a war?
All clear?
Yeah, why do you ask?
You ever wake up and feel like you slept in a sauna?
Yeah, I believe that's called night sweats.
Means you got a trash mattress, Brandon.
Why are we talking like Macho Man Randy Savage?
Cause today we're talking about our premier sponsorship, GHOSTBED.com. GHOSTBED mattresses are built with cooling technology,
So you're not sweating through your sheets like some street bum.
you stay cool, comfortable, and most importantly, you sleep through your night.
I got you for 3 minutes, but I got GHOSTBED all night.
You know what's longer than 3 minutes, Brandon?
Any sexual experience I've ever had?
GHOSTBED's 20 to 25 year warranty.
And you've got a 101 night free trial to test it out.
Ooh, yeah. And you know what, brother? They don't just sell mattresses.
They have bases, pillows, sheets, the whole empanada.
Just pick your mattress and grab a bundle.
And right now, GHOSTBED's giving you 50% off everything.
Just use unsubscribe at checkout and save 50%. Head over to ghostbed.com/unsubscribe.
That's ghostbed.com/unsubscribe.
Use code unsubscribe.
Or I'll show up under your bed and make ghost noises until you do.
Go now.
I just want to reiterate, none of this was in the script.
I don't know why we started talking like Randy Savage.
So I have a question that I'm A, not sure if you can answer, and
Okay.
B, I'm not sure I know. I want to know the answer.
Okay.
You're talking about like those things, like they're being like the most intelligent things that have ever flown, and like
Yes.
they've got all this data and everything. To what degree is the DoD interfacing AI into stuff like that?
So I don't know fully because the DoD compartmentalizes information really well, but I will tell you it was brought up to me on a project that I worked on, and myself and several other NCOs who were really competent. What we did is we gave the AI a moral dilemma. So when I was talking about the CVT assessment, criticality, vulnerability, and threat, we prioritize the threats 1 through 8.
Don't do it, Rich.
do it,
I
Rich.
don't even know what you're going to
Don't
say.
do it.
Prioritize the
Know
1
what he's
through.
gonna say. Don't
Do
do
it,
it.
Rich.
Oh God! What is
Fire
it?
and forget, Richard.
Just go on.
We
You're doing a good job.
Oh, God,
and
damn
I'm
it.
proud of you. You haven't embarrassed me yet. You've done great. And so I'm not going to fuck you up because you're doing a good job.
Okay.
All right? I'm sitting back and letting you shine.
Thank you.
Don't
Thank you. All right, fair
make
enough.
it weird.
So we prioritized the targets 1 through 8, and then I think it was like target 3 or 4. We just bombarded with missiles. We threw everything at it. Now the logical response is to reserve your missiles on those higher priority assets because they are a higher priority. The moral answer is to, hey, how about we protect these things equally? And if priority 1 isn't getting fucking smoked, we send the resources to priority 4.
So it's separate but equal?
You couldn't resist.
I got to keep it in. You got to segregate them. I get it.
So the system, the AI, prioritized it as a lower priority and did the logical thing instead of the moral thing, and that's why we were like, look,
Was that a pass or a fail?
that was a fail.
Okay.
So for us, what we ended up, like the agreement that we kind of came to, and this is not under NDA, this was just like a separate thing. We came to the agreement that AI can augment operators, but AI cannot make lethal decisions on behalf of operators. So that's where we came to. Like, if it can give me information faster and at the right speed so I know what I'm looking for, I'm all for it. But it should never be able to pull the trigger.
It's
kinda
like Brandon driving, like the car's driving. He just kind of has one hand on the steering
That's
wheel.
fair. Oh, yeah,
Cybertruck.
Cybertruck.
Yeah, the full self-driving that is
Yeah.
basically like if I close my eyes, it yells at you kind of shit. If I'm texting, it yells at you.
Yep.
Dude, I was in
It says it doesn't see your face. It's like you're not maintaining eye contact with the road.
It's crazy how good it is at that.
Do you see the thing the White House released the other day? The Houthis gathering in the circle.
Oh, yeah.
what he was just saying.
The rectangle thing.
So rumor has it, and this is through the rumor mill, I have no way to confirm this, but that was a JASM. And I think that was the first time JASM is the joint... Was it joint?
Jism missile.
Jism.
Yeah.
He
I had a
jism.
massive JASM this morning.
Joint something, or Joint Airborne Standoff Strike Missile, I think. I'm shooting in the dark there. I'm sure somebody will correct me if I get it wrong. And
So were they, but it seemed to land.
Did you see afterwards? This shit looked like the moon. Like, it was perfect.
Eli, did you see that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just
The
saw the
president
explosion.
tweeted it.
That's how I was. I was like, oh, they're just tweeting this now. That is.
Bro,
The president of the United States is tweeting snuff films. But that's fucking wild. I'm here for it.
The shit on Live Leak, we used to watch the president's like, look at this shit, yo.
But I've seen a lot of Predator feeds. I've never seen one that clear. Like, have you ever seen one that clear? I've never seen one that clear.
Dude, tech is getting
Like, that
insane.
was 4K, wide angle, 120 frames. Like, that was beautiful.
We're
Would
getting
you say-
close to the fucking slow-mo replay.
It's so good, man.
Would you say you had
Taking sponsors.
an orgasm? Steak is underneath it. Just like a,
Yes,
there's a little line like steak betting.
This killing of 18 Houthis brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings.
There was a whole lot more than 18 there, man. I think afterwards, like, you see all their bodies just blown out. I'm sorry, that's fucked up. I shouldn't like make fun of that. Like, here's the
Yes,
thing.
that's the worst thing that's been
I'm-
said on this
I'm-
podcast.
Like,
I
I'm a
watched
reasonable
that.
person, but I don't like. I'm not one of those like I want to negotiate with terrorists. We should talk with terrorists. Like, you should be eradicated. Like, you're either a terrorist or a terrorist sympathizer. You should give us the information. We'll pay you handsomely. Like when I was in Afghanistan and someone gave us intel, like, hey, the Taliban are here. This is where their stuff is. Blah blah blah. You got paid like bank, like
Yep.
$10,000 a pop for good intel. So you're either a capitalist Or you're a sympathizer.
Which
I'm sorry.
for bumfuck Afghanistan is like you're a king.
Oh yeah, it's 47-1 when I was there was the turnover rate. So that's what $470,000 or 4.7 million. I don't math in public. So
You quite fine though.
yeah. I mean that's just
fine.
one piece of intel. Like you can leave Afghanistan after that. Like I live like a king. I'm out.
Oh,
Unless we forget about you.
I'm trying to think. You know the story. I'm not sure of what you're allowed to talk about the.
I was going to talk about that.
Oh God.
Yeah, that was one of the things I was going to bring up.
What?
Brandon, you remember?
Yeah.
I'm lost.
I don't know how much of that you can say, but
Well,
that's
the
up to you.
investigation's over.
Oh, so we're good.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
Fucking all right.
Why?
Buckle up, Buttercup.
This is the one I was told you about.
Okay, I
It
haven't heard this
fucked
one
me up
yet.
for a couple days. I have a body. I did an investigation on a guy for sleeping with a 12-year-old, and he unsubscribed.
Wait, is
life?
this stateside or are we talking about like?
Stateside.
Okay.
Like this happened last week. He unsubscribed from life.
From life.
I mean,
because I stuck on an investigation that I could have stopped because it was going nowhere, but because I had time and it wasn't really like setting me back, I kept the investigation alive.
And most importantly, because he was guilty.
Well, I knew that if I could just get a certain piece of evidence, then it would lead me to him. It was just a waiting game.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that there's like, I'm not shitting on anybody. Like, I'm just saying that I decided that I was going to keep going on this case where I could have let it slide because I was hitting brick walls.
I'm just telling you for the audience sake that you didn't just, you're like, yeah, I made this guy, like, you knew he fucking done the.
Oh, he admitted to me. I'll tell the full story, but he chose to unsubscribe. So
Probably lead with what Brandon's for your career.
Yeah. Once you realize, like, oh,
He's guilty.
this guy's a fucking. It's like, oh, all of a sudden I care a lot less about his side of the story.
It was a muscle like instinctive reaction on his part. Like, oh, you guys bully people off the internet. Wait, do you see what I did? I bullied somebody off the planet.
So this guy cut me off.
I will never top that on Twitter. I just want you to know I will never top that.
So I'll try to make this short and sweet and give you the information that I think I'm allowed to give. Because once again, the investigation's over. But I was, I got called to the hospital where a 12-year-old was this person went on the internet on a dating site and then met up with somebody on the dating site who was an older person.
So the 12-year-old was on a dating site.
12-year-old was on a dating site.
Jesus.
It happened. You'd be surprised how often that happens. Dude, the internet is a fucking scary place for teenagers and underage kids. The amount of like blackmail that young men get because they'll send a dick pic to somebody that they met on Instagram. Like I'm talking like 10, 12, 14, 16, kids that are just like, going into puberty. And then they take that photo and then send them like a template that says, we will show your Instagram handle and your face and your dick that you sent us unless you give us money. Like there are tons of teenagers that fall for that trap.
Yeah, my sister works with that shit all the time because she's child crimes unit.
Yeah.
So it's same. Dude.
So like this kid has a hard life, and because of that hard life made some bad decisions. Regardless, it's not like, oh, what a well-developed teenager. That young lady, oh, she looks like she's 8. No. She's a fucking 12-year-old. I don't want to give a physical description because I think that's too far, but she's an obvious 12-year-old.
Like prepubescent.
Yeah. Okay. Like goofy looking hair and face and awkward shit. If this person walked into the house, you'd be like,
12.
do you want to play? Are you here for Pokemon? That's wrong person to ask because
Not like
Pokemon.
the 17-year-old with a fake ID. Like it's straight up very obvious.
Not an
child.
Akon situation.
And dude, this dating app, they were very helpful, but it was you want to go down a conspiracy thing? It was like borderline satanic. It was like devil horns and everything, and all about kinks and all fucked up. It was very weird. Anyway, so she gets on the dating app. She meets this older guy, which happens more often than you think. He picks her up, brings her home. They do the deed, drops her off back home with Uber.
There you go, tracking it now.
Mistake one, motherfucker. So I'm unfortunately, and I don't want to give away too much, but there was because there's another investigation with this poor kid, And this one's, and I think that one's done. But if it's not, either way, the kid was a mess. And it made the investigation very difficult. And we were like, I was specifically.
Just cooperation-wise, or like what?
I can't say. I can just say the kid was in rough shape because of what happened. And so that stonewalled my investigation, and I was kind of like stuck. So eventually, what I was able to do, and I'm working with the district attorney's office, which were phenomenal, is I was able to get a warrant for Uber. And so Uber gave me the guy's email address, phone number, his name, and I was able to backtrack that, figure out if he had a registered vehicle, if he had a driver's license, which state, what were the addresses, and I had several addresses. And then before I went home that day, I just jumped in my truck and started driving around and going to these different locations to see if I could find his shit. And I found his car, and I was like, there's his fucking car. And I see it, and it's parked in apartment number so-and-so spot. And I'm like, that matches with something else that I have. So I get another detective with me, and the thing was the following day, I'm like, hey, I got to interview this guy. It's called a non-custodial interview, which means if you're not in custody, what don't you have to read, Cody?
Your Miranda rights.
You don't have to read them their Miranda rights. So people are more
That was the
open.
law school. I was like,
Yeah.
I was shooting in the dark. I was thinking the same thing. But
Yeah.
I get
Pledge
so
of
turned on.
Allegiance.
It's not immigration law. I'll ask you those questions.
I get so turned on when you're talking about being a cop actually doing police work, real police work to help people. It's
Hey.
super cool.
Even when I was going after gangs and guns, like the ATF guys that were with me were like going after bad guys. The ATF division in Buffalo is phenomenal.
Some of those guys really do like good work. Like, not to take the
Tell us about the ATF, Brendan.
not to take the side of the ATF on fucking literally anything, but like there are like legitimate
there's-
roles that they play as far
There's
as
door
like
kickers in there that go after gang members and aren't like trying to screw businesses over because they put a 1 instead of a 0 at the end of a
Form.
arson
form.
investigations, things where there's like a real victim. It's like, well, yeah, there's like real shit there, but like, yeah, no, but there are also plenty of paper pushers that just want to like take out mom and pop businesses,
Make
and
their
just fuck you
careers
over.
fucking.
Yeah, bureaucrats.
Yeah.
Did the arm brace touch? The arm brace touched. I'm gonna put you in prison.
Yeah, now my career's going to advance.
So speaking of bad touch,
Oh God.
so I interview.
Why?
I love it.
I'll myself if I don't make jokes about it. So take that, YouTube. So my buddy and I interview the guy, and it's always like a game to me to be like to like try and get him, even if like that's how I kind of stay sane. Is if a kid gets touched or there's the potential of a kid getting touched, we do interviews to see whether or not the kid makes some sort of statement that something happened, and if they don't, then I'm like, sweet, then nothing happened. False alarm. Nobody's upset. That's great. But if a kid is and he gives like a statement that something happened, I'm like, fuck yeah, we're going to get this dude. So it's like, it's a weird way to say win-win, you know, but it's a way that I'm like, all right, I've got focus to try and get this bad guy, right? Anywho, we talked to dude. We're like, hey, buddy, let's get out here. Let's talk a little bit about some stuff.
Yeah, you're his friend right now.
I went through, I want to get this guy, on your podcast. It's not my place to put guys on your podcast, but he's absolutely brilliant. And he came in and taught our entire detective division how to do interviews over the past year. And he's an old MI5 guy and did undercover work in the IRA and was busting like bomb placers in the IRA. And I'd love to get him on here.
Dude, 100%.
Dude, he's
super interesting.
And all he does is teach how to interview now. And when I tell you, he'll get you to talk just by
guiding you
and listening. He creeped me out when we were in class. Holy shit, did he scare the shit out of me. Anyway, so I'm using these different...
I don't think I want him on the podcast now.
He's got some stories. He's very unique.
An hour in, Brandon's crying.
We admit some shit on the podcast. I didn't think I wanted
He
to
comes
say.
on the podcast and just slowly puts a Burger King crown on Cody.
Oh, no, I was saying get him and Christian Craghead on.
I told
that
him
would
about
be
Chris.
very
Yeah.
fun.
I was like, you should meet him because they were... I bet you that they know... They have the same friends.
Yeah.
I bet you they have the same friends.
fucking wild.
So I interview this guy, and part of the interview techniques are like, you be honest with them with what you can. If you lie to them, that doesn't really help, and it also doesn't really make you look good. You can absolutely do it. There's nothing wrong with it. But one of the ways that you tell the truth is I go, hey, man, I'm investigating this woman for And I'm investigating this woman and her relationships that she had with people, potentially online, but any of her relationships, which is true. But also, keyword there is I'm saying woman, not child, right? And no Miranda rights because he can leave at any time. It's non-custodial, a non-custodial interview. And he admits that he has sex with her. I show him a photo. He's like, "Yep, yeah, that's her. She used a different name, but yeah, that's her." I'm like, "Sweet."
What is his incentive to be doing this, right? Why is he being so open?
Because he's helping me investigate her.
What is she under
himself?
What's she under investigation for? As far as like,
can't talk about that. I can only tell you that I'm investigating her and the relationships that she's been having with other men.
Well, so he just openly admitted to a minor.
People want to help. He didn't know that. Well, he knew. He knew. You know what's amazing is a lot of want to talk. I don't know why. It's like they want to get it off their chest. They want to say the quiet thing out loud. I don't know why, but a lot of them want to talk.
They want to show it's a show of power. It's like Mr. Swirly Face. I think we might have touched base on that.
The Photoshop guy, the swirl that was like a serial.
Yeah, serial. Yeah. And then they unswirled it to find like 5 years of investigation. FBI was like, wait, what happens if we reverse swirl? His face just came perfectly into picture. It was like, oh, that's the guy.
So were you doing the Django Unchained thing where you don't go there to buy the Mandingo? No, seriously.
I go there to buy
you're not going there to fucking buy his wife. You're going there to buy the biggest Mandingo. So like you're talking about the woman, this, and this.
I'm talking about the Mandingo,
and they're going to reveal. Yeah, they're going to reveal the wife, Django's wife, on the side. Like that's investigatory.
Does Buffalo PD have a wood chipper?
But not necessary.
Fuck.
Not when I'm on the job.
So you didn't go there to buy the farm. You went there to buy the cow.
That's right. But I was talking about the farm. Yeah. So I'm talking about the thing that I'm investigating, right? But I'm not lying to him when I'm saying that it's not him. Yeah, I'm not really investigating you. I'm investigating the relationship, which is absolutely true. I don't give a shit about you. I give a shit about what the relationship was between you and her, right? So it's the truth, and he makes these admissions, and then he made what I think is probably. I'll just say what he said.
A life-ending mistake, maybe.
I'll just say what he said, and then you can say what you feel about it. He said, like, yeah, we didn't really have sex. We had sexual relations, and I'm like, okay, what's that mean? And he goes, well, I received oral sex from her, and I go, okay, with a condom? And he's like, yeah, with a condom. You get a blowjob with a condom? Yeah. Has anybody ever done that? Not with a hooker. Like the second I heard him, and I looked at my partner, and we both had like this moment where we're like, "Well, that's horse shit. You had a blowjob with a condom on? Well, okay, all right, whatever." Apparently, I am far darker than you guys because that's exactly where my head went, and nobody here is like, "Oh yeah, that's bullshit." Anyway.
I mean, I think it was bullshit.
I was with you.
Yeah, no,
that sounds like the laziest attempt to reel back what he said.
Oh, and it's exactly what he did.
Sav really loves latex. We do it all.
The flavor of Trojan rimmed. Nothing like chewing on a bubblegum wrapper for 10 minutes. That's great.
It's like sucking on a balloon animal. That's what.
Basically. The most disappointing balloon animal I've ever had.
Like sucking on the tread on the side of the road that's supposed to wake you up if you fall asleep.
So we leave. We leave him from questioning.
Glad you enjoyed that, Nick.
You pull back fast. It's like a little ripcord.
It's like ripping a Beyblade. This is really funny in any other context.
Hey, Brandon.
Yes, Eli?
When you think of businesses that are just crushing it, Bunker, Unsub, what's the first thing to enter your mind?
That's easy, Eli. A good child labor law attorney.
Huh?
Eli, I said Shopify. What did you hear?
Actually, it was the overlooked secret behind the business.
Like I said, Shopify.
Oh. Which brings us to today's ad.
Shopify. I mean, we use Shopify on a daily basis.
That's right. We use Shopify for Bunker, Brandon, and Unsub. Those magical shoes we have where they're linked through Shopify to the mythical store Bunker Branding. And because of Shopify, they communicate.
It's like your mom and your dad on their anniversary night. Not yours.
Nobody does selling better than Shopify.
They are home of the #1 checkout on the planet.
With ShopPay, which boosts your conversion up to 50%.
50%. Just like the age of all of our factory workers are 50% the age they need to be legally employed in the United States.
Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we get over at Unsubscribe or Bunker.
Sign up for your $1 per month trial period over at shopify.com/unsubpod.
Head over to shopify.com/unsubpod to upgrade your selling today.
Shopify.com/unsubpod.
All lowercase.
Yeah, sorry to bring it down. Don't worry. The end.
The payoff.
Well, there's a funny spot after the end.
Really?
So we leave, we go back, and just like anything, when you get like an admission of guilt, you're like, fuck yeah, this is awesome. And so we go back, I talk with the ADA, and we decide like, sweet, we're not going to ask him any more questions. He's said enough. He's already trying to back out of stuff. Let's get a search warrant for his phone. We'll get in his phone and see what's in his phone. So there's two types of search warrants that you need to get in somebody's phone, right? One, you need a search warrant to collect the evidence, to grab the phone. They need a search warrant to get in the phone, right? If they don't give you permission. Jailbreaking, or whatever you want to call it, busting into an iPhone takes a long time, weeks, right? So what you want to do is you want to get them to sign a permission to search. Even, doesn't matter when, as long as he gives you the code and says you can look in it, that's going to make it so much faster. So I'm like, sweet. I call him up. I'm like, hey, dude, why don't you come over? I want to, I got to talk to you for a second. Stop by. He's like, okay. So he comes over, and my buddy, whose nickname, he's 6'4" and over 3. He's like over 350. He's slimmed down from over 400 pounds. His nickname is the Slim Reaper because he's massive. But his nickname is the Slim Reaper because he's had 3 guys close the investigation for him. And I've said this before. We call it a baptized in the Niagara River. He's had 2 guys walk into the Niagara River during December and just like drown themselves because he was like, hey, what's going on? You touched a kid. I'm the investigator. And they were like, sweet.
Oh,
took a dip.
my hero.
Right.
Not that I have much sympathy for those people, but that is, we were talking about this a little yesterday. That is a wild way to yourself.
Drowning?
Is to intentionally drown yourself in a fucking river.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the Niagara River is
crazy.
Rough too. It took a police officer, one of our divers. His safety line got cut. We don't know what happened.
Fuck.
But his safety line got cut and he drowned years ago. Yeah, good guy too.
But this guy, totally off the topic of that diver, and I mean that's awful that it happened. But the fact that 2 people have done this in the Niagara River, this guy deserves like a medal from the fucking Buffalo.
What are the odds he's doing it?
What's that?
What are the odds that Slim's tossing motherfuckers?
He's dextering people.
It's a public service.
He does have the TISM, so he could dexter the shit out of these people and be like, "That's what happened."
I'm just saying, and tell me if that's too far to say as a joke, but
he just chucks them in at 350, slim down 350 pounds.
Right. Well, the one guy didn't, so I mean, at least that guy might not have been him.
Jesus Christ.
Like how you say, like, oh, he walked in or he was politely tossed in. Who knows?
Politely tossed.
Respectfully.
Sir, I apologize for this.
They politely fucking drowned.
He doesn't have to throw him in. He's just like, get in. Jump.
So that comes in.
That's some true detective shit right there, man.
It's like the accountant where he's just like, hey, we could do some awful shit to you and your wife, or you could just take all that insulin.
Yep.
Anyways, your friend's rad.
So my friend's awesome. He's great. And eventually he's going to go to homicide very soon, I hope. He's stellar.
I hope.
Love you, Biddy. And so he's down there with me talking to this guy as he comes in, and I'm about to take his phone. And this guy's talking in circles. Like, hey, bud, listen, I'd like to know if you'd give me your phone so I can look through it. Oh, do I need a lawyer? Do I blah, blah, blah? Hey, you can have whatever you want, man. I'm just asking you, would you like to freely give up your phone? Because I want that permission to search.
Yeah.
I want to make it easier for the investigation. Well, 20 minutes of it, and like my buddy's like looking at me like, dude, fucking just give him the warrant. I'm over this. And I'm like, all right, will you give me your phone, yes or no? Oh, wait. Will you give me your phone, yes or no? Well, here's a search warrant. Oh, you were going to take my phone anyway? Yes. Can I look through my phone? No. I gave you the search warrant. That phone is mine now, even though it's in your hands. Give me the phone. He's like, okay. And he goes, well, I still want to show that I'm helping out the investigation. I was like, sign this permission to search. Give me your passcode and let me go in the phone. And he's like, and this is when I was like, there's something on this phone. Is he goes, so like, what are you gonna look at? Like, what do you look at? I'm like, well, we download your entire phone and we look at your entire phone. Like, we were like, what do you mean with my entire phone? I go, everything. I look at your entire phone. He goes, like, what do you take off of it? Like, there's personal information on there. I go, listen, I'm gonna look at your entire phone, everything in it. And if you got a dick pic with your girlfriend, or there's a sex video with you and another, like somebody that's what, I don't care. If it has to do with the case, we'll keep it. If it doesn't, we won't. But I'm going to look in your entire phone. And he's like, okay. So he signs the permission to search. And then I go upstairs and I turn in the phone and I start writing my notes for the case. And then the next day, I'm notified homicide is at my guy's apartment. And I'm like, why is homicide? I know why. But why is homicide at my guy's apartment? And I fucking call up the homicide detective that's there. And I'm like, hey, dude, what's up? And he's like, hey, do you know so-and-so? I go, yep. He's like, well, he's dead. And I'm like, really? What happened? He goes, well, he wrote a letter and he sent a text message for somebody needs to come to my house and check me out. I'll see you later. And he's gone.
They did not, in fact, see him later.
Well, they did, just not alive.
Now, was it an easy death for himself?
I can't tell. I don't feel like I can say how he did it.
We can cut this part and then we can give reactions.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we'll cut this part out. We can give reactions. He.
Whoa!
And then
Now I assume that he missed the first time because this is assumption. I don't know for a fact, but there's two points. I don't want to, because I'm trying to make sure that I can say the story without having all this deleted shit.
I mean, on the plus side, at least he cooperated with the investigation enough to
You can keep that part in there.
open and shut case, boys.
So back to recording.
He did the ultimate cooperation.
Yeah, I don't want to cost the
close-
taxpayers any money.
Yeah.
I don't want. Yeah.
Literally, it's the investigation's over, and you're like, oh, case closed.
Yep.
He became a member of Doge for 3 minutes.
That's how you cut government spending.
Really
right there.
So,
Oh man.
story ends.
Save the taxpayers a lot of money.
My face hurts. I've been smiling so much.
The reaction to how it happened, and you're just like, what?
What's funny is that people are going to like take little sections of this out of context, but we're just over here laughing over the death of a fucking...
We need a morbid R-rated version of Scooby-Doo with Rich.
Oh my God.
Scooby Dooby Doo. Who you?
Yank their own mask
Oh my
off.
God.
Jesus, Rich.
You've got some holes to fill now.
Oh my
Sorry.
god.
Everything was going good until Rich showed up.
Yeah.
It was old man Jenkins again.
So I'm glad. So it caught me off guard. So the day I was actually kind of fucked up because I talked to this guy. I met with him. Like my investigation, his actions led to his death, but my investigations, pushed him over the edge. So it was kind of fucked up for a day or two because I met him. I talked to him. There was a relationship, even though he was the suspect. So it fucked me up for a day or two.
Did you like hand hurt from all the high fives you got from like other detectives or anything? I'm sorry. That was
No. That was fine. No, okay. I'm saying. So, remember how I said that my friend got a nickname, the Slim Reaper, because 3 guys took themselves out?
What's yours?
I now have an unofficial nickname, and it's called the Influencer.
Like the influencer, and then cuts to you all CNN throwing up a fucking rainbow.
Which I want you to know, I changed your name in my phone to that after
I need to change mine now.
It used to be Rich Angry Cops. Now it's Rich the Influencer.
So somebody told me, quote unquote, the influencer, like and subscribe. And then I said, more like unsubscribe from life.
Hey, that's the name of the movie.
That's the name of the movie. So my unofficial a nickname that I've gotten now because the first person that's off themselves because of my investigation is now the influencer.
Oh my God.
Which I'm not going to lie, like, it's morbid. I laughed for 30 minutes. I was just like, holy shit.
This sounds like an A24 movie.
Oh,
So good.
It's the same thing that happened in True Detective. Remember that scene with Matthew McConaughey where he says, you should just yourself.
He's like, at the first opportunity where you have, you should yourself. Just like, there's no break. There's like, at the first opportunity you get, you should yourself.
It's like The Happening, except instead of nothing, it's just Rich following you around until you do it yourself. The Richening. It's just Rich following you.
It follows. It's just Rich walking through.
It's the hypening.
there's the thumbnail right there.
The dickening.
He's in your backyard just staring at you.
Just like tying the noose over you.
Holding your phone.
Oh yeah, we've got to go through his phone. So like, right, he's got a permission to search. It's still good. He's dead. Like, it's our property.
Is there any reason to do that at this point?
Yes, because
The other victims.
So one.
There you go.
So the main reason of the investigation is to discover if there's any information regarding my investigation. Now I have a legal warrant to look into his phone regarding anything that revolves around my investigation. With that legal warrant, and in the process of looking for information for my investigation, if there's additional information that's damning or evidence, etc., that can be used to open up another investigation or assist in something else and potentially find other victims.
All right, so I know this is probably an attorney question, but I'm genuinely curious now. Let's say that you have suspicion. Let's say you don't have a letter of consent, right? Signed consent to search his phone, but you do have a warrant on his phone. Not to access it, but let's say you
To collect it.
Yeah. If you have a suspicion that like maybe he's victimized other minors, are you allowed to, even though he's dead now, does that allow you to search his phone?
So I think I know what you're saying, and I'll try
I
to
probably
answer
phrased
it.
that very poorly, but
Yeah, you're pretty dumb.
fuck off, Rich.
So it's like, you can't help it. You're more tan than us. And so I made a comment earlier today that he was beautiful.
He's not Puerto Rican.
A beautiful bronze skin. The thing is, I think maybe I want to make sure that I get what you said right. So you're saying, hey, Rich, your investigation's over. Can you go through his phone to look for something that's not your investigation?
Yes.
No, because when you say suspicion, there's like legal terms like reasonable suspicion.
Yeah.
That reasonable suspicion has to have a foundation of like facts, statements. Statements
one
is a
might
really
call
good
it
thing.
probable cause.
Well, the probable cause is for an arrest. Reasonable
Okay.
suspicion is for me to stop, frisk, and to write a warrant, right? Probable cause is an arrest. But probable cause can also be, that's such a high standard that would be enough for a warrant as well. So in this specific investigation, I'm looking into his phone because of my investigation. Even though he's deceased, it's not over because I'm looking for more information regarding the assault that I am already looking into. So I'm in his phone. Already in there. If additional information comes along, that's going to create other spider webs, which is a good way to get into a phone for other stuff. However, let's say that you're not really getting a warrant for a phone if you don't have information on what might be inside of it already. So your answer would be no, because if I don't have the right reasonable suspicion, meaning like statements or other evidentiary facts that I can use and state to a judge of why I need to get into his phone, you're not going to get the warrant to get it.
Slightly more gray area thing then, I guess. If
Lawyer Jake, yeah.
Yeah, Lawyer Jake popping
I
in.
forgot.
Fruit of the poisonous tree, doctor.
Yeah,
Correct. So if I just say, if the warrant is bad for his phone, I'll give you a bad warrant example. I go to a judge and I go, I think this guy's touching kids. So
Me?
Huh?
Why me?
Hey, you just look like one. So no, I'm sorry.
God.
I'm not.
I thought we were on the same team today.
Yeah, no, you can take a joke. You're
All
right.
right, that's
Rich
fair.
just realized you dressed like me today, so he had to switch it up.
That's fair.
Yeah, I got to listen. The people love it when I pick on you. I got to give them what they want.
I'm telling you.
On this episode of HLC Unsubscribed.
Fuck, man.
They call me the influencer.
Missiletism versus influencer.
You like missiles, huh? Phallic-shaped objects.
Just the fast ones.
But you like telling kids those stories too, don't you?
You sick freak.
Jesus Christ.
Maybe you should with a missile.
Bleep that out, please. You gotta bleep that part out. You gotta bleep that part out.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. You're fine. I'm just letting them know.
Don't run with scissors.
Yeah, you can say all you want about it. That's fine. But if you say something where I'm like, I'll let you know.
Here's another thing though. Like if you've like had suspicion that he was victimizing other minors, would they even still pursue that now that he's dead?
Yes.
So like, what's the purpose? I guess
Get the kids help.
Closure.
So
Kids help and then expand into that criminal, like, hey, where'd they get this information?
like just the data side of it of like how did this happen?
Because if you hurt one kid, you obviously hurt other children.
yeah,
So that's what they're chasing. At this
I guess I
point.
just never considered it where if they figured out like, all right, well the perpetrator is dead, do we still pursue?
Absolutely, dude. If they hurt one kid, they've hurt multiple other kids. So
Yeah.
you pursue that.
you see,
probably good, though.
Was there any proof
good
of that?
people would want to help out the potential victims, Brandon, not let them strand and tread water with their horrible PTSD, which we all have at this table because we've all served.
You never want to just make a power vacuum and leave.
That's how the Taliban take control.
And ISIS.
Twice. Yeah, twice.
I don't know. I think you could probably biden your time for that.
Oh. You saying we can't just pick up and leave?
Yeah. So yeah,
Rich is just like the like lawn sprinkler flamethrower right now.
So yeah, I got a body on me now. Feel different,
Are you getting a teardrop tattooed?
dude. I thought about it.
You should.
I'm not gonna lie. I can't say it on this one. There are ways that some people remember days where situations took place, and sometimes you remember those days with tattoos for different meanings with numbers and stuff.
What all the wood chippers on your left ass cheek mean?
Right, there we go. There we go. Do I get a wood chipper? But on the wood chipper, there's like a little one scrawled on it. And then in tally mark, and then in 3 years, you see like there's 7 tally marks on the side.
Homie,
in the end of it.
homie, just buy a wood chipper and just carve an obvious one.
You can, dude. You got a conus kill.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I kind of have a conus kill.
Yeah, that's
That's why I said I got a body. Like I kind of have a body.
You take that deal?
I take that deal.
I'd take that
I'll
deal.
round that shit.
That's a
up.
damn good deal.
Yeah, that's 0.5 of a body. And if you round that up in math, like I passed when I was in 5th grade, the only year I passed, that's one.
You ever kill anybody? I don't like to talk about it. So there was a
Rich, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. No, look me in the eyes. Thank you for your service.
You're welcome.
Thanks, buddy.
Just remember, be nice to me.
He'll influence you, motherfucker.
Dude, when
Nick ran upstairs and I'm afraid.
when the person said your nickname is the influencer, I was like, oh,
That's cool.
It's pretty funny.
that's kind of
Taylor know about
you
this
need to
story?
get that in a
Yeah,
tramp stamp.
yeah.
There
So
you go.
actually, I
Across the
talked
lower
to Taylor
back.
about it because I was fucked up.
Okay.
For like a day or two. I told you just briefly I was fucked up from it. Because like I said, that you build a relationship, and even though they're bad guys, you want them to go to jail. Like, this is gonna sound really fucked up.
I knew I was afraid by the way you sprinted upstairs.
Forgot I had something in my luggage.
For who?
Oh, that's
On your feet!
No.
oh.
come
Wait,
I
not yet. Wait, oh yeah, we got that.
I have the official memorandum from
to
the
why?
Department of the Army.
On your feet, damn
Memorandum
it.
for Commander,
Stand up!
United States Army Civil Affairs Psychological Operations Command, Airborne, Fort Bragg, North Carolina.
K-pop, you're one of me.
Subject: the acceptance and wear of foreign badges. Under provisions of AR 600-8-22, Appendix D, Section 7342, Title 5, U.S. Code, the following individuals authorized to wear the Latvian parachutist badge.
Can we pin this bad boy on?
In it?
Fuck.
This is
Can we read the name? Because that's ridiculous.
It is
Jesus Christ.
Bro.
on 3 gentlemen, 1, 2, 3. Bam, 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 On that note, I
Dear
want to pee.
God.
Brandon's like, oh, it's not
How
over
does this
yet.
fucking happen?
That's when you're a hero, Brandon. People
You're
do
an
things for
American
you.
fucking hero.
That's a full on.
I feel like I'm smuggling stolen valor from my PO box to you.
You're my forced valor dealer.
I think technically this is the authorization for the individual that gave it to you to wear it.
Okay. Okay. Then
This
that's
is
way
the
different. I'm like,
memorandum that he got.
Jesus Christ.
Speaking of weird, like awards and shit, you guys know, I did an Angry Meme review about him. You know Throck the Destroyer, the big SF guy that was running with Pete Hegseth?
Oh, yeah.
I know who he is.
The big boy?
Yeah, I know who he is. And I don't want to throw the guy under the bus, but I went overseas with a buddy, a great guy, and now he's got stars on his collar. He's very nice. And he was like,
Wait, that guy has stars?
No, my friend,
Oh, okay.
my friend has stars. And I was like, hey, Hegseth was where you're at, around there, somewhat that area. Do you know anybody that could get me in touch with this dude? And he's just like, yeah, hold on, I'll figure it out. And he figured it out. And then he gave me, I think, his commander's email or his email. And I'm trying to get him a POB. He is not happy that he made it like all over the fucking United States because he's like an SF commander. He's like he's like a fucking lieutenant colonel in the special forces.
He likes to be,
like that.
no one sees his face.
He's the silent professional, like legitimately. And I was like, hey, I'm reaching out because I used another channel to try and get to him and be like, hey, bro, I want to send you a thing. He's like, hey, we talked to him. He wants to lay low. He doesn't want to know. Doesn't want anything. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna make a story about him. I want to give him an attaboy. And he was like, nah, sorry, man. He's radio silent. And I was like, fuck you. I'm going to get some stars involved. And then I called my buddy and I was like, give me this motherfucker and I'm going to send him a goddamn gift. So, sir, respectfully, I'm going to get you some shit. You're going to get it from my email.
Like, I don't understand, like, mentality-wise. Like, why could you not lean into that? So I made a series of tweets. I
Because
don't know
he's
if
a
you saw.
silent professional. He's not a SEAL that has to make a book about it.
I get it.
Or lose his eye.
I totally get it. But like, if you're accidentally thrust into the spotlight, so I made a series of tweets referring to him as the tactical Kool-Aid man, because like, dude could just go straight through the fucking wall.
He's a fucking unit.
Yeah,
man.
he's a fucking monster, and I'm like, why would you not play into that? Like, I think they took his picture and were like, tougher people are hard to kill. Like that was the whole big armies thing. And it's
Was
like,
he the one in the commercial where he says harder to kill?
No, that was
No.
That was a different,
Yeah.
different refrigerator.
Yeah.
And it's just like, dude, why not lean into that? Like, obviously, you're fucking the top. Like, right? You are the absolute like top of your field. You're special forces and a unit commander. I got it. You want to be the quiet professional, but if you're thrust into that role, bro, play Captain America, play John Basilone before he died on Iwo Jima. Run that shit, right?
I see where he's at. He wants
lot
to
of
do the
people-
job. He wants to do the job.
And I mean,
And if
social
you're that-
media would suck if you're trying to hide everything, especially with what you do, and you're like, this could endanger my family. Now everyone in
I guess I
fucking
get that.
America knows you, and not only America, overseas, so you don't know the repercussions of that. You're just like, dude.
Which I totally understand, like the privacy concerns and stuff like that. But I mean, that being said, remember when ISIS released their kill list?
Oh, yeah.
Like 5-10 years ago, something
Tim
like that.
Kennedy was on it. You know, he's
How
got a
many-
backpack full of grenades.
Well, so he's covered. He's covered in that case.
Yeah.
But
good.
but how many of our friends were on that fucking list?
I wasn't. And I was so disappointed.
We had, it was double digits.
Oh yeah.
People we knew on that list, but nothing ever happened. Like it's
Yeah,
a
what a
bunch
bunch of pussies.
What I'm saying, like
They didn't kill one of my friends. What a bunch of dicks.
Have they met the influencer?
They didn't even try. They met like. How many flights have they ever been able to even afford over here?
At least 3.
You know, that is my favorite comeback on the internet is every time somebody says something about like an aggressor nation, I'm like, how about you get with the Taliban? You guys brainstorm. They tried for a year and failed. Maybe you guys can come up with a new plan to actually get me.
Dude, they have really good helicopter pilots, though, from what I've seen.
Yeah. I was
So
inverted.
disappointed. They get in the cockpit. There's way more controls than a donkey. I can't
Where do you put your dick? Where does the penis go? Is it no?
Do they?
Is it the reason why they have the what is it, the Toyota, the Hiluxes? It's the only car they can't destroy.
The reason the Taliban is dead. Sorry, I got like that
You know,
The reason is you. Who sung that? Chumbawamba?
I wanted to ask around here, right? Like, so the common thing that I've run into is that America ran out of Afghanistan. We were chased out and all that stuff like that. Like, does anyone here feel that way, or like where does your logic lie?
So I did the math on this yesterday.
Okay.
GWAT deaths.
Okay.
United States.
5,200 something?
It was so in Iraq and
5,287?
Afghanistan, I believe it was just over 7,000. Right?
That's Iraq and Afghanistan.
Oh, okay.
And we compared that to just Afghanistan's numbers, didn't we?
No, we compared that to
all of GWAT.
The total deaths in GWAT.
Yeah.
So American deaths roughly around 7,000, which is nothing to sneeze at. Over the course of how many years?
20-something years.
120, yeah, somewhere in there.
How many total deaths in GWAT do you believe?
I know of Afghanistan only, which is estimated for the Taliban and a coalition forces for them between 51 and 100,000.
Total
Samson
was 4.5 to 4.7 million.
Fuck.
The KDR is 600 to 1.
It's more than that.
We did the math.
Yeah, it's like 650 or something to 1. It's like
they're going to call us campers. That's what they're going to do.
It's a lot of airstrikes.
Yeah,
we got pulled out by anti-cheat.
Yeah, that's
You know how
really
many
what-
tactical nukes we could have called in?
Oh my god, a lot.
Oh, tell us about the missiles there.
I mean,
we were actually the only one in that
Listen.
conflict who could have called in a nuke.
to answer your question, you have to like, people don't have a good grasp on like when a war ends, I guess. So the problem is like, in my opinion, a war ends when you dismantle the current government.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of people seem to be under the impression the war isn't over until you dismantle the current government and get every single civilian on your side at all times.
Yeah,
Establish a
that's-
brand new government.
Right.
Which is easy when
which is
communism
crazy.
is your opponent.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Because people get food. It's really easy to buy them over.
You
with
want food or you don't want food? You want to eat?
Yeah.
You go to jail, you want to go home?
I mean,
That's what
hell,
Denzel said.
we were doing that when they were still communist with the Berlin airlift.
That's true. It's just so I broke down just Afghanistan because I couldn't speak for Iraq. I got bored and I was like, I wonder what, because for me a good measure of a country's fighting force is if you took both of those countries and around the same time you had them fight the same enemy. Holy shit. The Russians the Soviets fought Afghanistan from 1980, I want to say 83, 84 to 88. Actually, maybe earlier, because theirs was 10 years. And then we fought from
late
2000.
70s, something like that.
And then we fought from 2001 until 2021, 2022, wherever we did. So I was like, let's do a side-by-side comparison. Turns out Russia in 10 years lost 15,000 troops in Afghanistan. We lost in 20 years 2,400 troops.
So Russia was 79 to 89.
79 to 89, okay.
In their defense, how much of that was to exposure to the elements due to bad logistics of communism?
That's true. People always bring up
How
the
many of
stinger.
them would have still died in Russia?
That's totally true. But the U.S. So then I was like, all right, well, let's look at enemy kills. The Russians killed between, I want to say it was 75 to 90,000 in their 10 years of enemy troops.
Which also, like, just to fucking hammer that point home, they were doing things like poisoning water holes.
Yes, they were. It was genocide to them.
You didn't know that?
No,
they were straight up like pouring like poison in water sources.
They were putting landmines inside of teddy bears. Like Russia
was just like, okay, hey,
literally
we were
killing
trying to avoid civilian casualties. They were trying to cause them.
And I can prove that mathematically. So, well, at least by the numbers. So the U.S., we killed between 51 and 100,000 enemy combatants while we were there in 20 years. So relatively comparable. Now we look at civilian casualties. The U.S. civilian casualties, best estimation for just Afghanistan, not Iraq, just Afghanistan, 49,000. Now, civilian casualties by the Russians in 10 years, a little over 1 million. They were killing everything.
Just stacking bodies.
So, like, I don't understand why U.S. gets all this flack about us, like, oh, constantly killing civilians. Like, the Russians are way worse, like, tenfold to what we did. Actually, like I think that's like 12 or 15-fold to what we did. Yeah.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah.
Well, communism, right, Nick?
Uh-huh.
You love it.
Big fan.
Actually,
Huge fan.
When's your next communism video?
Who won the Cold
I
War,
don't
Nick?
know. Us, Metallica. what do you want me to say? Blue jeans?
Yeah. I always love that. Like, America didn't win the Cold War. Like, it was between the U.S. and Soviet Union. Which one of those still exists?
Thank God that show happened before they dropped the Reload album.
I haven't told it this story.
We might have lost the Cold War.
We got a story.
It's not my story. It's a buddy of mine who is Special Forces, and since we're talking about Afghanistan and like the Russians, it was one of my favorite stories to listen to. My buddy would tell it all the time, and I want to share it with you because it's I think it's cool. So during the Russian pullout of Afghanistan, there was a base. I forget where it is. I wish I could tell you the name. Somewhere in Afghanistan, the Russians are pulling out, and they're driving everything in fucking trucks. Right? So they're like, hey, here's the space. The Taliban's coming up. They're pushing back. Or Taliban, whoever it was, Mujahideen back then. They're fighting us. We're pulling out, and they're murking us as it goes. So what we're going to do is we're going to send everybody from this base in a fucking massive convoy up this one road to get the fuck out of here, go to Russia, and a bunch of Spetsnaz are going to stand by. Their special forces are going to stand by at the post and fight off anybody that comes. And I forget if the Spetsnaz were just like there on a mission, like we're here to defend until whatever happens, or if they had some trucks and they could get out of there. Either way, the opposite side was ready. So the massive convoys leading with all the shit. They get in this valley, they get an ambush. Everybody in that ambush dies. All the trucks, all the equipment, every single Russian dies. And then there's an attack on the post, and it's all a Spetsnaz. And they're all in one building. And all the Mujahideen close in on this building. And they kill every single one of this. Like, you can see, like, this building is, like, filled with bullet holes. And you're like, Rich, what do you mean the building's filled with bullet holes? My buddy's there with one of the Mujahideen that had fought the Russians. And he's like, hey, so this is where you fought all the Russians? Like, yeah, we killed all of the Spetsnaz. They were in this building, and we murked it. We just threw everything at it. Rockets, RPKs, PRKs, everything with a fucking K was at this building, and we killed all the Spetsnaz. And he's like, well, then what happened? He's like, do you see this big concrete pad? He's like, yeah. He's like, they're all buried here. They dumped all the Spetsnaz in a like unmarked grave and then poured concrete over it. It's just all this dirt, a building that's all fucked up, and this random pad of concrete that's like poured shitty, like by, you know,
well,
Afghans.
By Afghans. and that's how the conversation got brought up. He's like, hey, what's this big concrete pad? He tells them that story, and he goes, and the concrete pad you're standing on is all the Spetsnaz that I and all these other guys killed from the Mujahideen. Holy shit.
You're talking on the construction skills or the concrete pouring skills of people who could never conquer the third story building.
That's fair. That's
yeah, that's about right. Yeah. The only thing they can build...
They're not Mexican.
The only thing they can build well is graves.
Yeah.
All right, I got to ask a question real quick. Okay, so you guys, some of you have been to Afghanistan before. Mm-hmm. You got all these influencers who are like, oh, we're taking our vacation to Afghanistan on TikTok and stuff. How do you feel about that?
They're doing that?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Like these fucking little baby boy influencers are like, we're taking our vacation to Afghanistan.
Griff seems to really like it. Like, obviously those people are just retarded, but...
I mean, if you're Muslim and a man, that's probably kind of cool.
It's probably great if you're Muslim and a man, but...
Would you let your wives go there alone?
Nope. No.
It depends if I want a divorce.
Yeah.
Did I sign a prenup or not?
It's a lot like going on vacation in North Korea. They're going to let you see what they want you to see, but like if you spend enough time there, you're going to find out that women are for babies, men are for pleasure, so are goats, and so are fucking donkeys. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, anybody.
So we have more in common than we think.
It's crazy. Like the thing that I would say overall bothers me most about Afghanistan when I see like these young influencers go there, like I think back and you see like World War II vets. Like you guys have had World War II vets here on the podcast, and I'm so fucking jealous of that. By the way, like those guys are just living legends, and like they get to if they want to, go back to Normandy and like see where they've been previously.
They're treated like heroes too. On
Yeah,
those, like,
and
those,
I
that
know
big
like
day.
for people in GWAT,
That was liberation in France.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I know for those of us in like GWAT, we'll never be able to do that. Like we'll never be able to go back. And so like when I see all this shit and like all these kids going over there, like they have no idea that we spent 20 years of just everything we had to give a generation of children and families hope. Like that was the thing that bugged me the most when we pulled out of Afghanistan and everything collapsed, is like I gave everything I had to give a generation hope, and the Afghans that we left in charge are cowards. Like that's the thing that burns me the most about the whole situation.
Influencers doing influencer shit.
Yeah, influencers being. I met my first influencer in the wild.
Oh no.
I did. It was some dude. He had like fucking stickers all over his bone stock Mustang GT. Like he didn't even have the fucking a regular license plate on it. He had like the stupid 360 camera sticking off the back of it. He's doing 40 miles an hour down Rogers Lane and just like switching lanes real quick, thinking he's cool. And I was like, oh, you silly bitch. I'm just trying to go get some Chinese food, man. Like I love you. That was my first time ever seeing one.
We had I think we've had the same Uber driver before. The guy who like the Afghanistan the Afghani guy. Yeah, he was an interpreter in Afghanistan.
Oh hell yeah.
And
some of those dudes are legit.
Well, his whole thing is he's just trying to make enough money here to get his family out, because his family is still there.
Fuck.
Which that's its own wild thing. It's like being able to leave your
You
family
helped,
there in
but
Afghanistan.
we're not gonna bring you back.
Yeah,
Good luck.
The whole pullout, like I'm so torn, because on the one hand, I look at it like my brain is torn, right? Like you got moral and then tactical. Tactical, leaving fucking quickly makes logical sense. Less bodies used. It's more expensive to get that equipment back. Like I totally understand that. But the moral aspect, we had a lot of allies and assets and people helping us there. Like we shouldn't have done that.
That and I just don't believe in pulling out.
I do the push and pray. I push past all her important stuff and blow my load into her heart.
What the fuck?
Welcome to the Unsubscribe podcast.
I love how quickly we oscillate. It's like a metronome.
Yeah, it's all
Where
over
it's
the
like
place, man.
we
First
go
of
from
all,
like
if you're gonna
very
use
serious
big
to
words that I don't know what they are, I'm gonna take it as an offense.
Yeah.
So
gonna
how
make
about
me
you
unsubscribe?
subscribe? Yeah.
I'm gonna hold it back.
I'll oscillate the shit out of you. You say that word again.
He's gonna
Son of a
influence you.
bitch.
That was actually one question I had. I don't remember how everyone met, because everyone has different. Like, how did you two meet? How did
YMCA
Brandon
bathroom.
like?
I know the story about how me and Rich met.
Oh, it's one of my favorite stories.
You're fucking Mike the cop.
Yeah. Because we were all hanging out in Charleston, South Carolina, because Cody just invited us down. We are just like, hey.
Oh, that's the one I didn't go to.
Yeah, that was the one you said you
Yeah,
were
we
going
invited
to.
you to go there.
And just like usual, you were very late.
By not going this time.
And we
We never know when Eli's showing up. That's fair.
I made a joke to JT this morning. I was like, hey, man, I'm going to go see the boys and blah, blah, and do a podcast. And he's like, oh, that's cool. I was like, yeah, I'm supposed to be there at noon. I'm going to show up at 12:30, though, because, Eli. And he's like, yeah, that's right, yeah.
We didn't start till like 2:30.
Yeah.
I don't even know what time it was.
Once
I've
again,
been
checks
drinking.
Oh, height of COVID, 2000.
2020. Summer
It
of love.
was the summer love, baby. Yeah, because that's
Summer
when
love,
the riots happened in Buffalo.
Shit was burning down in Charleston, too.
I invited Eli to come down. We got a nice beach house on Isle of Palms in Charleston.
He said, I'm going to the airport now.
Yep, and then I didn't go.
He didn't go.
I'll be there in like 3 hours. 4 days later, I'm like, I don't think Eli's coming.
That's the most I'm on my way text I've ever heard in my entire life. I'm on my way. Not even to the airport.
Dude, when I was supposed to first meet Savannah, I'd never told this. My first flight, I was going to go out there. I was visiting a friend, and I was going to go meet her, and I texted her that day. I had a ticket and everything. It was like, hey, I'm actually not going to go. Like, sorry, I just didn't feel. I was like, something feels off. I'm just not going to go visit my friend or her for the first time and waited 3 more months.
Eli?
Yeah, I know. Weird. So I stand up everybody.
There's the TISM right there.
You're like,
I'm like,
don't
that's
worry.
too much
I do
people
this to
right now.
everyone.
So I got this big house. I was like invited all my friends out, Eli included. And my good friends, Brandon Herrera, Rich comes. And what did you say to him,
So
Brandon?
we had never met before. Mm-hmm. And
Remember the first thing you asked me? What kind of man am I?
I don't remember this at all.
You said, hey.
Oh, okay. I do remember this.
Go ahead.
The gun?
Yep.
Yeah. You an AR guy or an AK guy?
And I said, you know what? I really like ARs. They're my jam, but I love AKs, man. I think I'm more of an AK guy. I had no idea who the fuck he was.
Good.
And he was just like, sweet, we're going to be friends. So I was like, cool. And then I made, he didn't know who I was. He thought I was Mike the Cop. But I also never seen a single video he did. And I lied and said, yeah, I love your stuff.
Always. I legitimately thought I'm like, oh, I'm pretty sure I've seen him around because the way you described him, like, oh, I think I know who you're talking about. And we're on the beach, and I had said something, and I don't remember what it was, but it was one of those like glasses. I remember some shit like
you were like, I had like 3 beers, and I was like, hey, do you think I'm Mike the Cop? And his face went.
I had been not only like was I called out for something off, but it was called out exactly who I thought you were.
Yep. I was like, because I'm not him. And in my typical fashion, I thought it was hysterical that he felt awkward. And then I thought, I was like, this is the best joke ever.
Bullied for the rest of the week.
Oh, it was great. I loved it. I had ammunition every time he wanted to say something. I was like, all right, well, like and subscribe, Mike the Cop. And he was just like, fuck.
Fuck. The first ever you rich I think you ever got.
Yeah, that was the first one. Yeah, it's the start of many fuck you riches.
How'd you meet Cody?
That was our first time that we met in person. It was actually the same thing, but we were like talking back and forth on the internet, and you were like, "Oh, you're still in? Like, that's cool." Dude, you know what? We just kind of broed out. It's such like a man story, like like the typical wife said, you tell your wife, "Hey, I'm gonna go golfing with Gary," and you come back from golfing with Gary, and the wife's like, what's going on with Gary and his wife? And you're like, I don't know.
Us the first time we met.
I feel like I haven't changed at all. I'm just
not even
because I gave you my shades.
Yeah.
I was gonna be young Brandon.
And like the wife asked you, like, hey, Gary broke up with his wife. Did you talk about the divorce? And you're like, oh no. She said, but you were golfing with him for 4 hours. And like that's kind of me and Cody. Like I don't know what started our friendship or what we started talking, but we were already like friends and knew that we melded together. And he invited me out to go hang out. And then, yeah.
And then I made like 3 videos about you freaking out on public servants. And
oh, God.
The knife hand of the judge is probably my favorite.
He retired.
Did he?
Yeah, he's no longer.
The influencer.
He's,
guy, fucking guy.
His stepdaughter, through marriage, I think, works with me.
Well, the funniest thing was, like, I'd known you for like a little bit. We were friends, and you would text me, and you're like, "I'm on the news again."
Yep. Hey, bud.
What the fuck are you? And I would just search it up, and sure enough, guy.
When you
Listen here, guy.
When you made the chest bump video of me chest bumping that dude, I think it was with Taylor. I think it was Taylor at the time. I was in bed, and she was next to me. And I wanted to watch it with her. I was like, hey, Cody made a video about me chest bumping this guy, and let's watch it together. And when that part came on, I laughed so hard, I was kicking in bed on my back. I laughed so hard.
Calling it a chest bump is like calling you an influencer.
Ethan, have you seen that video?
No, I don't think I've seen that one. I was just thinking about the one
this
where
little Puerto Rican kid tried to get his friend out of a police car. And Rich runs over and just chest bumps him.
Into fucking next year.
Dude, he goes flying.
I gotta see this, man. The only one I've seen like before, I guess before I really knew who you guys were was when you pinned down the minority. I know that doesn't narrow it down.
That was my video too.
That sounds worse. That sounds bad.
The guy who was there with the skateboard, like hitting I think he hit your truck or something like that.
Yeah.
And like people were like, you can't kneel on him. He's a black man. And you were like, he's just a man. And I was fucking
which is like the
dying.
least discriminatory thing possible.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it happened right across the street from this massive apartment complex filled with pieces of shit. And then all the pieces of shit that were in that apartment complex emptied out and just made it a complete race thing.
As you're in full uniform too.
Army uniform, right?
Yeah,
It wasn't
yeah,
even
Army
a job.
uniform.
I got it.
What?
The chest bump into space.
Oh,
We can
chest
put
bump.
this up
Please,
on. We'll send this
it's one of my
chase.
favorites.
I gotta watch this.
And
fight
here I
breaks
come.
out and the crowd starts interfering with the arrest. That's when the commander in pig shows up.
Oh, I love it. Oh, it's so good. Oh. Oh my god.
Remember when we enjoyed making videos? Yeah, right. That was crazy.
Oh my god.
Don't worry, it'll happen again. Once I get back on the streets, I'll let you know when I get.
Cody, by the way, I think you should go back to the mustache. I really liked it.
I like the
lose the
beard.
beard, keep the mustache. I think it was magical.
All right.
It was good.
Moody. Moody.
Yes.
Mustache only.
Nope. That. Ooh.
Yes.
The eyes of terror. With yes.
My mother's saying
Mom
no.
says no.
Mustache.
Yeah, mustache only.
He's so handsome with the mustache.
Get that dick broom back.
So, can I tell you something?
Jesus.
2 stories come from that. One, inside baseball. While I was running towards him, that guy that I chest bumped, I was like thinking, am I going to forearm him and give him an elbow and put him under arrest for trying to... He was literally trying to unarrest somebody that was being arrested. He's like grabbing officers that are trying to effect an arrest. Am I going to elbow him and do a use of force at a full sprint, which is probably... He's probably not going to wake up from that for a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, am I going to elbow him, do a use of force, and arrest him? And then at the last second, I'm like, none of that is worth it. Drop it. You're just going to chest bump him out of the way. So like my arm's up here and I'm sprinting and then I go drop, chest bump. And then he came back and I was like, well, you wrote your own story today in handcuffs. And
It was a choose your own adventure.
Kid flew.
Did you see the one where you fucking hip tossed that dude?
Yeah.
Did you break that one down?
He
you
didn't
just
know
ask
that
him
was
if
me.
he saw?
That never came out.
Well, him. Sorry. That one never came out.
I don't think he's seen that video, and he's
Whoa.
never done a breakdown.
You got a new
This is
video,
a
Cody.
hip toss. This is like 2 frames. It's like he's up and then he is vertical to the concrete floor.
Epon.
I'm up. Rich sees me. I'm down.
The influencer strikes again.
I'm upset now because I built my entire career off of watching Rich beat the fuck out of people.
Wait a second.
And I haven't seen that one.
And that's 800 videos.
Rein it back here.
All I know is I'm getting on Photoshop and taking that the cover from the movie The Equalizer and changing it to the influencer and putting Rich's face on it.
Homework.
In full blackface.
Just get Rich in trouble.
If I don't do it, it's not my fault.
Oh man.
Second story that came out of that is I had an internal affairs investigation on that.
Oh, you did? Mm-hmm. Would have never guessed it, Rich.
It was not for the use of force because the use of force was appropriate. It was because one of the people that I arrested, their mom complained because I went up to this person. That was an armed robbery, and we got the gun. And we got all the people.
That's how that whole scene started.
Whole scene started because it was an armed robbery, and I had the victim in my car. We ran. I got over there with another cop. Guy had the gun, threw it. Another guy picked it up. We chased him down. He threw it. I grabbed the gun, and then this is where the complaint comes in. I go over to this person, and I go, "You, come here, fat boy," just like that.
I've heard the fat boy story.
I go, "Come here, fat boy," and he's like, "Me?" I go, "Yeah, you," and I grab him and I put him in I didn't put him in handcuffs. I threw him in the car because it was so chaos. There was only 2 cars at that point. There wasn't all those cops there at that moment. It was chaos. So I threw him in the car really quick. And his mommy made a complaint that I called him fat boy. And the best part of this is this guy is retired now, but there was an internal affairs lieutenant that had seen me grow up throughout the police department from rookie to where I was at the moment. And he's like, "Rich, your reports when you write them to internal affairs are great to read because they're exactly what happens in the camera, but it's you telling the story but just typed out, and I can hear you say it."
Oh, J.R. Tolkien over here,
right? And he goes, "So we're investigating you calling this guy fat boy, and that like you shouldn't have said fat boy." And I go, but that's the physical description that I had of the person, that he was the fat person in the white shirt, not the skinny person in the white shirt, that I asked the victim. I'm like, hey, skinny guy in the white or fat guy in the white? He's like, fat guy. I'm like, sweet. The chaos erupts.
So you had the victim saying fat boy.
Yeah. So the whole chaos
there you go.
erupts, and that's how I identified him as a suspect. So when I say come here, fat boy, that's what the victim told me.
So if you ask the victim, let's say he's of the darker persuasion, you asked him to say, is he the hard R in the white or the hard R in the black?
Jesus Christ.
Could you get away with saying it?
If I was on the stand and they asked me what the person said verbatim, I have had to say the N-word on the stand.
You've done that?
Oh yeah. I feel like my was too excited.
This is illegal.
Oh yeah. It's just the judge looking at Rich. Say the words. You're under oath. That's a judge peer pressure.
To be fair, Joe Biden has said the same thing, quoting in the floor of the Senate. So.
Say the word.
Yeah, when you're on the
Say
stand,
the word,
and they're
influencer.
like, when you're on the stand, and either the defense or the prosecution, the district attorneys are asking you like, and what did the person say? And you're like, well, they said, you're not gonna catch me. Fuck you, N-word. Well, I say the whole N-word because that's what he said verbatim. But in this case, once again, I'm talking to the internal affairs lieutenant, and he's like, this is the complaint you said of fat boy, and I was like, I said fat boy, and that's what he's like, yeah. And so during the internal affairs investigation, instead of saying fat boy, I say like portly young man and overweight youth and obese male. I just tried to keep thinking of different adjectives to describe him. And in the middle, I'm like, it's recorded, but not video. It's just audio. He's like putting his hand over it and being like, stop. And I'm like, okay.
You went full sing-songy is what you're saying.
I went full sing-songy. Yeah.
Portly young man.
He didn't like that I called him fat boy. So in my interview with Internal Affairs, I used every other word, including scientific medical terms like obese.
Obese youth number 3.
Wait, Cody, how many times did you get investigated?
Oh, we're
not
gonna
enough
talk about that.
Did you actually ever have a serious investigation where they were trying to fuck you up?
Yeah. Once or twice.
Damn.
I mean, when he
Statute
specifically stopped on the side of the road and said, you shouldn't have had the sun go down and just broke out his ass. That's, Nick, how did you get into this circle? Because, I think you were the reason I ended up in this circle. And we'll get into how I met Eli in a minute, because I've been waiting 7 episodes of Unsub to tell the story of how I met Eli.
Oh, I've got a story about Eli, too.
The second time.
No, I mean, I've told the story before. Cody just hit me up on Instagram. Was like, hey, friend. I was like, hi. You want to come on my podcast? Sure. And then I flew out here and I was on the podcast.
But my favorite story is when he picked you up from the airport.
Fuck off, dude.
The first 3 minutes.
I didn't know shit. It was the first time I'd flown in 10 years. I didn't have Uber on my phone or nothing. I thought they were picking me up, and he wasn't responding. Batty wasn't responding. I text Cody. He's like, yeah, I'll be there in 15 minutes. I'll be in the Raptor. Okay, cool. Pull up, hop in his Raptor. I'm like, hey, I'm Cody. Hey, I'm Nick. How's it going? Blah, blah, blah. And then it's just we're pulling out of the airport, and it's just awkward silence of 2 people that don't know each other at all. And Cody just trying to break the ice, so what do you do? I was like, I'm an electrician. And Cody just goes, fuck. My God.
And then the rest is
And
history.
then he drives me out to Batty's rental house at the time, which I'm telling you right now, Batty's house at the time looked like a house out of the Devil's Rejects movie.
I was just about to say 1,000 corpses.
It was literally down a road that had not been maintained since it was built 40 years ago, and it's you got to put it in 4-wheel drive to get there. You get there, it's this little tiny house out in the middle of the desert.
Most importantly, the air conditioning didn't work.
The air conditioning didn't work. It was hot as fuck. You open up the door, his living room had 7,000 reptiles in it.
I could touch the ceiling.
All right, I'm getting fucking murdered. Probably should have vetted these guys more. I was like, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I walk in the bathroom. There's a bathtub / shower with no shower curtain, just the rod. Shit all over. I was like, oh, well, that's where I'm going to get my kidneys taken out of me later. This is awesome.
Why does it have ice in it?
So yeah, that's how I got involved.
I do remember you asking me, why should I do long form content though?
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
It worked out.
I think we were all at Redacted Bar.
Me and Brandon and Eli, we were all like, do long form content, Nick.
I don't think anyone's...
I remember.
no one's going to watch an hour.
It's true.
Well, you're like, what? Like, my videos are like, 2 minutes long. Who the fuck's going to watch me for 30 minutes? Now you make the longest videos of any of us.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. Thank God you did long form. Otherwise, you'd still be wearing that metal Roman helmet.
What the? You talking about the Roman helmet guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That was
He's
a joke.
another, like,
I was
history
making
guy.
a joke like he stole his thing.
Oh, gotcha.
Or they're the same person. You know.
Well, we're not going to talk about the eyes and mouth thing that people steal.
I was just
Habitual
about to make a
man.
joke about it.
Well,
How did you get in this group of misfits, buddy?
It's a wonderful experience. So Eli messages me on Instagram. I think I'd been tagged in unsub videos like fucking 1,000 times.
Show, did you message?
Did I message you?
Was it Show that
Did you
messaged me?
message him?
Show just spawned
there you
out
go.
of the stairs.
Okay,
what
yeah.
the fuck was that?
Well, okay, I guess it was Show. Messaged me and was like, "Hey, we'd
rainbow
like, we'd
appeared.
like you to come
What do you
on,
want?
are you?
The Taker Man is
Yeah,
here.
the Tiger Man is here.
Y'all keep talking don't start your car.
Show's like, God damn it.
Oh my god!
Remind me, I have a story about that.
Oh, God.
So Show texts me through Instagram, was like, "Hey, we'd like you to come on the podcast," and I was like, "Oh yeah, cool. I've heard of Unsubscribe, but I had no idea who was on it. I had no idea who you were. So I was like, I'm gonna fucking look into Eli, right? I'm gonna figure out who the hell Eli is. I looked into who bad he was at the time because I think that was the last podcast
Episode.
with that group. Yeah.
Yeah.
was me, and
Kiss of death.
it was me. And it was all my
That's
fault.
his nickname.
Yeah, right.
We have the influencer
You're
and the
both
kiss of death.
influencers.
So I 6 hours go by because Eli doesn't do anything on time. And I completely forgot that I had contacted Unsubscribe. I have a brother named Eli. I love my brother to death, but he's also a convicted felon and a deviant who gets a new cell phone every time the sun goes down.
Oh, my clientele.
So I get a text from Eli and says, "Hey, what's up? This is Eli." And I think it's my brother. And my response is something along the lines of, "Oh, what'd you get a new fucking phone for this time, dickhead?" Right? Like something stupid, not realizing it was fucking.
Yeah, I was like, that's a
This
weird
Eli.
response.
And like as soon as I said it, like my brain, like 30 seconds later, clicked on. It was like, "Oh fuck!" Like I panicked and I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, man. I have a brother named Eli. Like I thought this was him." And they you guys invite me out, and honestly, it was a really good experience. I get here, still don't know where the thermostat is in this house. I have no idea where it is. Okay, I was like,
Everyone knows where it is.
I could see
Everyone pointed at the same time.
No one was here at the time. It was just me, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool." Like I took a couple of selfies. Like I'm on Unsubscribe, right? And like I text Eli because I could see my breath in this house, and he goes, "Yo, yeah, hey, come on over to here. I'm here with Brandon." Not realizing Brandon meant Brandon fucking Herrera. So like Eli, nothing personal. I was not a fan of you. I was the biggest fan of Cody.
Not a
wouldn't
fan.
be.
Sounds like a dig.
I'm sorry.
Hated your content, Eli.
sorry.
Looked in.
I was like geeking over fucking Cody, and I had seen some of Brandon's content, so I knew who he was. I didn't really know much about you. And so like I walk into this bar and it's you and Brandon Herrera, and I was like,
My middle name is not fucking.
I think it is. I'm pretty sure it is.
Gonzalez.
Yeah, right. It's Consuela Porquito
And Nico Montoya.
And but yeah, that was the first time I'd ever met Brandon. I remember taking a selfie with him that didn't turn out very well because there was a big light behind both of us, and he probably thought I was a goober.
Can I get a
And
I've always just thought you were a nice man.
Yeah, and that was my first experience here. And I remember the second time I came, I'd never met Nick in person. We'd talked to each other, but I'd never met Nick in person. The second time we were at another restaurant when I showed up, and Nick was like, "Hey, just come to this restaurant." I was like, "Cool." And the only open spot was next to Cody. And I remember geeking the fuck out. I was like, "Oh my God, a donut operator." I geeked the fuck out for a few minutes. Yeah, that was my thing. Look, you were the only one I was really a fan of, okay? Give me a break here.
Y'all have really good memories.
Do you remember when I said,
I don't remember.
embarrass me?
Look, man, I'm telling the story as it went.
Didn't have to tell a story.
Oh, God damn it. Fuck you.
Didn't tell us.
Do you guys know that Eli has a magic cabinet in his kitchen?
What? All right.
Bro.
Now
I'm
we
here
need to
for
explain.
I went to Eli's right before I had to flight home. And I was like, I want one of those Eli gummies. And he's like, cool.
Oh, we're telling this story.
And he's like, cool. And he walks over to a cabinet and spawns gummies. I'm like, okay, cool. And I eat it, and I'm like, that's fine. And then, like, 20 minutes later, somebody else is like, I want a certain type of fungus. And he was like, cool. And he walks over to the same cabinet and hands that out. I was like, okay, this is where he keeps his drugs. That's fine. And somebody's like, I want a protein bar. And he's like, cool. And he walks over to the same fucking cabinet. I was like, okay. That's where he keeps all his edible I guess. That's fine. Whatever.
Can I have a bottle of water?
Same cabinet. Bro, no. So then we're talking about 8-6 blackout because Tackett doesn't know much about it. And he's like, oh, bro, it looks like this. He walks over to the same cabinet and there's bullets in it too. It's the fucking Mary Poppins bag of a cabinet in his kitchen. I forgot about that.
Eli reaches into his magic bag.
But the worst part is, as it's going, I'm getting progressively more high, and I'm like, what's going on?
In that cabinet, man.
So it's bigger on the inside. It's his retardus.
I forgot your face was.
Blackout and 8-6 because I was comparing
Dr. Eli.
Oh, my God.
The craziest part of that story is Cody goes, I'm looking for like a thick young Latina. And then all of a sudden, Moody comes out of there.
Damn, was that not provided?
Yeah. I actually had an interesting question, and I was thinking about this on the flight over here. I don't know why I thought about it. So we know communism summons Nick.
Oh, fuck.
I was just wondering what would summon the rest of you guys. Like, stop resisting 3 times would probably be Rich.
Both of them.
Old habits die hard.
Latina.
What about you, Brandon?
AK.
I don't know. That's a hard one because
Trunnion.
I still get people commenting just Trunnion, and I know exactly what the fuck
I
they're talking
psyoped. I'm not gonna lie. This was an intentional psyop of you and your fan base when I started doing angry meme review.
What is Trunnion? Wait, hold the f on. I don't know this.
You know this?
Trunnion. TISM, there's two trunnions on an AK. One's the rear trunnion that holds the recoil spring, dust cover, stock, all that. Front trunnion is where the bolt locks up, and it also holds the barrel to the receiver of the gun.
Brandon also says trunnion like 4, 5, 6, 10, a dozen times in every video he's talking about.
I'm sorry, I used the right name for the word.
I'm not saying
not a sexy word though. Trunnion.
Trunnion. Ooh, trunnion.
It sounds like a sexually transmitted disease, in my opinion. Like I just
my bolt is sliding on your trunnion, Brandon. Ooh.
I just like. Never mind.
Hey, you want to look at this? Oh, you got a trunnion growing on your penis.
I want to see what my trunnion.
Yeah. You want to touch my trunnion?
I just want to choke Rich and hear the word trunnion.
Yeah, when I die, it's gonna be him choking me. I'm gonna be like trunnion, and I'm gonna come when he kills me. So my psyop was I wanted to affect Brandon and his community, and so I was like, if I be like trunnion, Brandon, because he says it so many times. I want to get Brandon to crack on videos and be like, Rich, every time I say trunnion now, I think of you, and I fucking laugh, and you keep fucking up my videos.
I think I've said that verbatim.
Yes, you did in like 1 or 2 videos. And also, I wanted
I paused and was like, fuck you, Rich.
Yep. And which fucking I came. So and then also I wanted to see his comments be like, he said trunnion 37 times. And I wanted somebody to make a compilation of him saying trunnion. There is a compilation video from a fan.
Is there really?
5 minutes or 7 minutes of you saying trunnion.
Well, it's going to be longer now. There's going to be a new one, I promise you.
They're going to grab it from this episode.
So my goal was I wanted to, like make trunnion a thing for Brandon without forcing him to do it by like my psyoping skills. And it worked
Rich,
so well.
There is a video, And it was I saw it because somebody sent it to me, and it said Brandon Herrera says the N-word is the name of the YouTube video.
Yeah.
And it's just me firing a Pausa P50, I think it was, and I just look at the camera and I go, nice. I was like, why does this have 40,000 views?
Those comments have to be golden.
It was all Tony Gonzalez's campaign.
Yeah,
that's all of the views.
Some of the videos they used in that campaign were fucking hilarious.
Dude, they were great.
I wonder if you run again, like since the last time, how many like snippets they're going to get from Unsub or the Unsub Live or Pepperbox. You know they're going to pay for a subscription.
What's wild is that they still had to outspend me 10 to 1 to even make any of it stick. Because it's crazy. Like half the shit that they use too, they're like look, how can we make veterans hate this guy? And the more clips they showed, the more they're like, this guy's pretty.
This guy fucks.
Dude, like the whole like premise of the thing like kind of blows my mind. Like I try and explain to even my students, like social media is more powerful than anything we know. And to put it in perspective, we are 23, 24 years past 9/11.
It's terrifying.
And we have people advocating for terrorism because of social media, because Hamas has a better social media campaign than the IDF does. Like social media is stupid fucking powerful. And the powers that be don't understand how powerful social media is. It drives me insane.
They're starting to, which is interesting. It's been very funny to watch that ship get steered by the caboose.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
When they try to use social media and they have the little hairy sissons and those.
Oh my God!
Choose your character.
The new White House, like all the comms they've got there, have been fucking killing.
Oh, it's great.
The new social media team has been hilarious.
I love when you get like the weebs or the fucking super tards, liberal tards or whatever. Like everyone knows I don't pick sides. I call both sides retarded if they're stupid, but like they're like, I can't believe we have the president of the United States sharing this. I'm like, fucking awesome. Terrorists dying. It's great. I love it. I love every bit of it.
Getting some like fentanyl dealer deported to Studio Ghibli copies is hilarious.
It, man.
Oh, the fat lady?
Yeah. If it was a lady, then fucking I don't know what that was. Oh, that was bizarre, but hilarious. I'm like, I love whoever's running this account.
Dude, it's crazy watching that new wave because they're treating it like, here's old legacy media. Oh, we'll do the same thing. But now with our personal accounts, I swear they probably use you guys as models for running for Congress because that was not done to that time.
So how
correct?
to not do it?
No,
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, do you want to lose a congressional run?
Yeah.
I can give you plenty of advice on that.
Well, think about it. If you would have spent maybe $2 million more, you probably would have beat him.
It was way less. Well, that was less than I spent total.
Because you lost by what, like 70 something votes?
It was 400 votes in a runoff election. So we progressed from the primary to a runoff. So it was just me and him, and I think he and all of the PACs, super PACs, everybody that was running ads for him, something like 13 million, I think is what it ended up being.
That's fucking nuts, man.
$13 million to beat a YouTuber as an incumbent, which, by the way, incumbents already have like a 93%, 93% re-election rate. It's crazy.
I would say you probably next time you have to put Cody on your payroll because it was savage.
Well, you know what we can do after they spent $1.3 million or 13 million?
13 million, yeah.
You know what we get to do? This. Get fucked, dude.
That was the only reason I got Twitter was to see what Cody said.
You almost beat your opponent and we get to get drunk and talk shit.
Like, you know what happens if you lose? The streets, motherfucker. You know what happens if I lose?
Nothing changes.
That's crazy.
God damn, best job ever.
Best job I ever had.
I do have to do a quick shout out to my boy Jankwagon here. He's Jankwagon. It's a 1068 that was constantly falling apart and lighting on fire. It looks like a toaster with tracks. My boy is having some liver failure. He's a good dude. I told him next time I'm on Unsub, he's a hell of a dude. Jankwagon's fucking awesome people. So I told him I'd do a shout out on Unsub.
I do 21 push-ups for you.
Yeah, 21.
We hope Jankwagon's doing okay.
There we go. You got it from Brandon Herrera.
Cody, I do want to ask a question. Where do you think you're going to get married at?
Ooh.
Charleston, South Carolina.
Oh.
I'm gonna
Place to be.
Is it gonna be water? What are you thinking on that?
Oh, dude, I want big oak trees, the moss hanging off of
What
them.
is your scent? What's the scent you're going to use for the table?
You've been waiting your whole life for this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is your first and only one, isn't it?
Yeah.
What?
It wasn't you, Rich.
I'll still marry you.
Shut God every time.
Man, I'm like,
Just couldn't let it.
I thought you were sad. I was trying to build you back the fuck up.
You couldn't read the subtext that said awkward silence in parentheses?
Yeah.
That's what Rich was going for.
Yeah, I was trying to break the awkward silence by like making
Did the
just a
parentheses
statement
say
about someone I
Ethan
care
break the
about.
awkward silence?
No, I wasn't paying attention to that.
The guy can read everything but the room. Every training manual.
I understand missiles, not people, okay? That is my fucking TISM. We got the TISM Titan over here when we're talking about cameras.
If you want to know
That's a great shirt. Is just I can read missiles, not people.
I need to get
That is a
one.
really good
The
shirt.
missile knows where it's not.
Exactly.
Dude, just going on Kinda Consensual and reading just the one I missed an episode. I turned that one on and I was like, oh, what happened in this one? I just did a quick jump in it. You just shaved your head. I was like, and then immediately wherever I skipped, Rich is just lighting him up. I was like, he just gets bullied.
That was the whole episode. That was the whole episode.
Just getting shit on. Then I read the comments.
influencer.
And then it's like, Rich is so mean to him. I was like, dear God.
My wife yelled at me, and she came on. I think you were back, and it was the four of us, or you might have left. I think you were gone after that one. It was just the three of us.
I'm so glad I was.
And she came on over my shoulder, and she's talking to the guys, and she's just like, I told him not to pick on Ethan. And I'm like, he's not here. I'm still going to pick on him, though. He doesn't have to be here for me to do that. She's like, I told him he's got to be nice. Everybody was mean to him in the comments. And I was like, he's a grown-ass man. He's okay.
I can handle some smoke.
Yeah, then I got that text from you.
Okay, we don't
the
talk
top.
about that. All right.
Over the top.
Look, all I said is that you were
whiny.
going to be explicitly named in my.
All I'm saying is I think you've got good enough hand-eye coordination where you could the first time.
Jesus.
You can't put that one in. You can't put that one in. Hysterical. Glad you said it. You just can't put that one in.
You beat me to that shit.
Really? Here we go.
I was about to say he got the good text.
Jesus.
That's how I know I got into the
good
right
ending.
friend group, is they immediately make jokes.
You guys are
That's
really
the-
going for the neck on this one.
Yeah,
Look at me.
Oh, man, I think on that one, we could close her up, Mr.
We're gonna
Cody.
close it, buddy. Are we doing an after show?
Yeah, we'll do a 10-minute after show. Just
10-minute.
complete chaos.
Well, guys, thank you for coming to the Unsubscribed podcast. I was joined today by Eli Doubletap, Fat Electrician, Angry Cops, Habitual Line Crosser, Brandon Herrera, myself, Donut Operator. Join us on Patreon for the after show. Love you.
Mwah. Love you. Oh, yeah, where do we find you?
habituallinecrosser.com.
BuffaloPD.org. let them know how good of a job I'm doing and that I deserve a fucking medal. Yeah, you can email and you can.
Hey, Unsub, welcome. Hi. What's the website?
It's not a website. It's the Buffalo Police Department's email.
Go to that email.
Yeah, go
tell
ahead.
them what a fantastic member Rich is to society, and
You're
call
gonna get
him
called into
the
someone's office.
Influencer.
Yeah,
just address him as the influencer.
No,
Rich.
don't do that.
Okay.
No, hold on. That's the higher ups don't know that. They're gonna be like, what? No, you can. God, why you and him?
Maybe this just isn't the episode for that.
Yeah.
Be like, any Buffalo news outlet, you can find Rich.
Actually, all I want to see is go to Google, leave a review at Buffalo PD, and just leave a really 5 stars for Rich, and just be like, love Rich.
No, just call up the Buffalo Police Department headquarters and tell them that
I
I'm
would
doing a
just
good job.
love to see the fucking fake reviews. It's like 5-star. Detective Richard High, my wife, and it was fantastic.
She loved it, and I cried when they looked at me and said how beautiful it was.
Oh my God.
I saw that video.
And off to the after show.